On this episode of Taskforce Geek, we talk with Kat Pryde and Chris Bays about their superhero fantasy audio drama, Genesis Avalon. Plus, we will talk breaking news about Star Trek Picard Season 3. We look at Brandon Sanderson's record-breaking Kickstarter, and Beth won an award, and that's all coming up now. Welcome to Taskforce Geek. Tonight we have Beth and a special guest.
The smallest geekster, Darren.
Darren is behind you. Tell us who Darren is.
Darren is my grandson.
We already have people are already piling in here. Darren is an official geek. I hear that he's being indoctrinated as we speak.
He has been indoctrinated properly. He sat and watched the Hobbit movies with his grandfather. He's a big fan of BattleBots.
As am I.
Yes. I was trying to feed him the other day. Dan turned BattleBots on, and food was forgotten. Okay, he was glued to the TV set.
All right.
And he's also watched some Voyager and some Deep Space Nine. He knows who Captain Proton is.
Wow. I mean, he's already. Right. You are raising that kid right.
Hey, I was at Barnes & Noble the other day. I bought the Black Panther Little Golden Book for him because his mom is a Black Panther fan. He has the Black Panther Little Golden Book, so we're good.
All right. He's off to a good start.
He is off to a good start.
Also off to a good start is Steve, who has signed in and out of here about 3 or 4 times.
Let's not go there.
Let's talk about your T-shirt.
Oh yes, let's.
What is up with your Sasquatch loving cornets?
Well, was it last week or the week before that we had Nick Sanford on?
I believe that was. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
I think it was 2 weeks. It actually would take a while for this to ship, right? So that makes sense. But
correct.
Anyway, I rated their merch page and got this for, let's see, that's Elusive is the stupidbigfootmovie.com that's coming out. And I went and rated their merch page. So I got, also have a camo dad hat that has the title of the movie on it, Elusive. But Bigfoot love corn nuts is all I'm saying.
Very cool. Look,
corn nuts.
Did you know?
Love corn nuts.
And Walt, I see you, man. Steve, did you know that we got over 2,000 views on the Elusive episode?
That's spectacular.
Nice.
That's spectacular and
so
well deserved. I obviously I haven't seen the movie yet. I think it premiered April 1st up in Oklahoma City, as I recall.
Yes, they were on Film Row Friday night. They premiered the episode, and you're talking about going to see it in Tulsa sometime, right?
I certainly hope so. Yes, I'm planning on it at this time. Right now, the window's kind of broad. They're saying that it's going to start showing up there at the Circle Cinema between April 29th and May 5th. So once they get that nailed down, they'll send out information to those who have signed up on their email list, and I will pass that information on.
Yeah, so that it's stupidbigfootmovie.com, right, where you got that T-shirt, and it's important to note that they had a lot of media attention, and part of that filtered over to us apparently.
And all
so
filmed
pretty
in
cool.
Oklahoma.
All filmed in Oklahoma, but apparently Bigfoot's big enough where it brought us some traffic.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's pretty awesome. All right, let's see if I can do this without screwing up the whole deal here. Oh, no, I screwed it all up. Anyway, here's Walt. Let's try this.
Walt, man.
Pretend like you didn't see our guests.
He's here.
Walt, how are you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Hey, check out this shirt.
Nice.
I saw that.
Oh,
You posted it
wow.
earlier today. That's awesome.
Psycho Clown.
That is awesome.
From the Lucha Libre AAA out of Mexico.
I was going to ask if you're broadcasting from Venezuela since you lost your power. But actually, we had a guest from Venezuela, and his internet connection was the best I've ever seen.
It was the best.
So I can't even use that. Are you broadcasting from the Arctic?
No, but I'm having a sandwich right now.
You have a sandwich, man. You deserve it.
I'm having a sandwich.
You deserve a sandwich.
Having a sandwich.
You have earned your sandwich, sir.
And I still haven't taken off the WrestleCon wristband.
Hey, that's cool. Is that like it's like plastic or something?
Yeah, so that you can, walk around without being, hey,
Accosted?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad that you're on here, man.
I'm glad that I'm on here.
It's good to see you. All right. And then finally, we're going to get to our guests, which is Cat Pryde and Kris Bays. How are you two doing?
Doing really good. Yeah, happy to be here.
We got 2 for 1 here, folks.
Yeah, normally you guys just get me when I pop in, so
That's right.
I grabbed this one with me.
Yeah, I don't have much of a choice. She tells me where to go and I go.
Well, that's a good routine.
Sounds like my wife.
All right, there is the whole deal. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, that's too far apart. That's like all of us being in different parts of the earth.
Whoa!
So we'll do this right here.
Whoa, come here, whoa!
It's all good.
All right, there's our crew for tonight. We got a whole crew. We got comments. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Gigi says, "You've never been better, Mr. Hooper. This is pure triumph."
I couldn't help but notice that he put that up like 3 minutes after you started broadcasting.
He almost literally put that up the second that we went live.
It was essentially instantaneous. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So much to cover here. Let's see if I can start getting that going. We will start with housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
All right, so we have some guests coming up tonight. We have, as you can see, last weekend was the Cthulhu Invades Wonderland crew, and by the way, I did that all on my own. That was 4 guests, and I knew that if I put more people in here, that we'd never get out of that. It was an hour and 45 minutes with those 4 guests, because not only did I, talk about Cthulhu versus Wonderland, but I also interviewed each of the individual creators and talked to them, and they're all a great group of people. I'd strongly encourage to go look at that episode, see those creators, hear about their process, about the Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, and thanks to everyone who donated to that project.
That was exquisite. That episode was awesome. I enjoyed the crap. Let's stop that. I enjoyed listening to that, and I also kind of rated their Kickstarter.
Oh,
Of course you did.
We both rated the Kickstarter.
Of course you
And
did.
I was actually impressed, Dirk. You were done by 9 o'clock straight up.
Yeah, we wrapped it up little early, which was pretty amazing. But like I said, I knew that it would go on forever if I added another contributor or 2. And
They
I
were
also,
all very entertaining. It was hard not to just immediately.
I really
go
wanted to
straight that
focus
site.
on them and give them because comic creators, that's a bonus. We don't always get that, and I'd like to encourage more of that. So anyway, that was that. Anyway. So, Kat and Kris are here tonight. We have fellow Oklahoman Scott Sackett coming up next week. He has done 4 issues of Heaven's Rejects. I don't know how he did that. He did all 4 issues, and then they found a publisher for it. It's pretty amazing. That next week is locked in. That pending confirmation has confirmed. I will announce that next week. So our next open period is April 26th. If you're interested, get in contact with me at taskforcegeek@gmail.com, please.
Oh, playtime's over.
Or,
Well,
after that in May.
Well,
we're
Dirk,
booking now for May.
Dirk,
Can you actually throw that graphic back up just real quick?
I can.
I'm going to call you out on something.
I can serve it up, Steve.
What is Taskforce Geek?
Did I do it wrong?
Oh,
Taskforce Geek.
You got an
Where are you
extra
talking
E in there,
about?
bro. You got an extra E in there, bro.
Tech
Oh,
Force
yeah.
E?
take
Taskforce
4.
E.
Yeah.
Well, spell it like it's supposed to be spelled instead of the way I spelled it.
use your best judgment.
TASKFORCEGEEK@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fellow contributor Sean says, "Nice shirt, Steve."
Hey, look at this one though. Look at this one though.
So congratulations.
Sean.
The Psycho
Battle-
Lucha like corn nuts.
Battle
Psycho-
of the Network t-shirts.
Psycho Clown.
Yep, they're gonna go for it. It's fine.
As you know, Dirk, I sent you a message earlier today. I'm trying to line up a guest for us. So another filmmaker. So
We can't say who that is, can we?
we can't say who that is yet.
All right.
But
The guest
I hope
that I
he's
have
watching tonight.
the
George
guest
Lucas.
that would
Going for
probably be
ratings.
my dream
Going for
guest. Maybe Jason Momoa, because he would have the ratings for Jason Momoa would be off the charts.
Jason Momoa shows up on an episode. I'm
But-
in. End of
But
sentence.
George Lucas would be my dream guest. Like if I
See,
could get
that's
George
our
Lucas on
problem.
here, I would very much enjoy talking to him.
I would
Having,
like
having
Mark
Jason
Hamill.
Momoa on here for Beth will be a problem because she'd track his IP and then go find him.
No, it would be okay. No, it'd be all right.
Oh, I had
It'd
a
be
question about Jason Momoa. I was
I would
going to
just be
ask the
doing
panel. Since we brought it up, is Jason Momoa dating Kate Beckinsale? Beckinsale.
I don't know. I try not to follow that kind of stuff.
And
Yeah.
and if so, are they going to break the internet?
Well, I mean, I don't think they're gonna. I don't know if they break the internet, and they might get close. But if Tom and Zendaya didn't break the internet, I think we're okay. But they might be. I don't know. Like I do kind of tend to follow some of that celebrity rag stuff, even though I'm not supposed to. But I don't know that I feel like it's anything legit. It could literally just be, the same kind of like.
Well, Momoa just gave her his jacket, and so everyone said they're dating.
Yeah.
like you could also just be a gentleman.
Let's
and a nice
see.
guy.
Hollywood Life. Jason Momoa shuts down Kate Beckinsale dating rumors. I was just being a gentleman.
There you go. There you go.
That's a hot gentleman.
So we have solved it. You heard it here first. Sean says, "Nice one, Walt.
I want you guys to see this.
Well done." Oh my gosh,
He's already bored to death.
we have put him out.
Well, he was already starting to fall asleep, and I gave him a bottle, and he fell asleep eating the bottle, and I'm not moving him.
Yeah, no.
Let it be known that if you have a
That is brilliant.
kid and you need them to fall asleep, just put them in front of Taskforce Geek. We get the views. No matter whether you're viewing or not, we get the views. And you get the silence. The sound of silence. And here is a shell. Hello. Hey everyone.
Still?
Look at that. We got a good group. Oh, wait a minute. She says, "Funny but true story. I've been in the kitchen plating dinner, and I hear what I hear is the keywords Jason Momoa. She had to run into the living room to find out what I'm talking about."
I mean, that seems like a reasonable expectation to me. Absolutely.
I think most women hear the words.
See?
Jason
Lots of
Momoa
men
and
too. I
string
think.
and go,
Oh yeah.
I
mean, it is
know,
2022. Come on now.
Yeah.
I know that Jason Momoa equals ratings. That's why I mention him as often as I possibly can.
And I roll my eyes every time I hear Jason Momoa. I'm like,
Steve, can you give me it's time to put your screen up, and now it's not here, man.
Oh,
What happened with the
Steve?
just.
I would ask Walt, but Walt didn't have electricity until about 5 seconds ago.
Have you it?
Sean says it is there, but I have to get to this important message from Sean. He says Jason is trying to get back with his wife, so I don't think he's playing the field or Beckinsale.
Ooh.
I believe it.
Sean
He said
reads
he's
the
over
rags.
her since the day he met her. I mean, he knew he was going to marry. He said he was going to marry Lisa when he what was it, like 12 or something like that?
I
Like,
would-
he turned on TV and was like, I'm going to marry her one day.
She was on the Cosby Show, and he was a
Yeah.
little teeny kid. So.
Just don't get all Kanye about it, Jason, and he'll be fine.
Right?
Don't
tell
get
me
all
about
caught
it.
up. All right, we're going to add this up to the stream here, and I'm going to give some props to both Walt and Steve, who recently added some shirts
Let me get down here to the news
to
stuff.
let's see some of the new things that's on the t-shirt. Look at that.
What?
There's the
We got
Spicy King
We
shirt.
got the Spicy King shirt. It's
Long
right there.
rumored, now confirmed.
They said it existed.
The Spicy
We
King
had no
shirt. I
proof.
love this.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Steve made a distressed
Nice.
retro logo.
I like that.
I do too.
Retro ray gun logo.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
a lot. I like it a lot. And then, of course,
because
We had to go
these two guys are racing nerds,
Yeah, that's
they had to do a racing.
Yes.
They had to do a racing T-shirt, which is actually
complete with the stripes.
hang on.
super cool.
We need the music for that. Bum, 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 bum.
I like it. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I actually
Oh
already
yeah, I
ordered
like that a lot too. Actually, I need to get one of those. So
Yeah,
instead of
same
using
here. That's
instead
cool.
of using this thing, then I have
Nope, we need
the
coffee mug.
Everybody
glass.
needs a good pint glass.
the coffee mug. I don't trust myself with the coffee mug around my computer,
That'd be all right with the coffee mug. I like my coffee mug.
but it is cool.
we have too
And of course,
many
you got your
coffee mugs. I think we still might buy that one. I mean, I don't know.
There is
pillow.
no such thing as too many coffee mugs, Cat.
You say
your
that.
pillow with the
Must be our
Taskforce
coffee
Geek on
bar.
one side and the
Crazy.
retro logo on
I've
the
seen
other.
Oh my
pictures
gosh, it's
of
on
your
two
coffee bar.
sides.
Yeah,
That is
and you can get
awesome.
them. I think you can get them. Yeah, there's two sizes. There's three sizes: 16 by 16, 18 by 18, and 20 by 20.
Look, I went with the right guys to do this because you guys are graphic designers, and so you just went nuts,
And-
which is exactly what I
We
wanted.
have just begun, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, there better be a spoiler alert one come up soon.
There
Oh,
you go.
spoiler alert!
Let me take that off. I'm going to remove that and put this up here, and then I'm going to. For people who are interested, you can go right here. There is the address. It's taskforce-geek.creator-spring.com.
I think we need to forward that to Nick Sanford and his elusive crew and say, hey, you need to hit up our merch bar too, bro.
What? We're going to challenge him? It's a merch challenge.
Even
And
better.
for the record, I'm going to stop saying bro because I'm annoying the hell out of myself. Go ahead.
You're annoying yourself at this point.
Yo, bro.
Even better. We better see one of those shirts in your next project.
Fact.
Wow.
When we're all extras in the next flick, we'll all have.
Michelle
Yeah.
wants to know: does the Distress logo come in a tank style?
Yes,
Okay.
it does. If I haven't posted it already, I will do so.
All right.
Hey, Michelle's all about her tank tops.
Go to these two guys down here. Let's do this. These two guys. If you need a shirt in like a
This
because
one right here.
he originally had a
Right
shirt
here.
in a size that I can't wear, so I have complained as well. So don't be afraid to complain if you don't get what you want. And that stuff goes. Look, any proceeds that we get from that will go first to upgrading us on StreamYard. That's my first goal, is to take us from the tier that we're at right now to a higher tier so that we can broadcast in high definition and so that we can broadcast at 10 different channels at the same time, which is, we don't even have 10 outlets. So if we can get 10, we'll get almost everything all in one deal. And so that's what, if you want to get a t-shirt or a mug or something.
Can we say the ultimate of ultimate goals?
Well,
World
what is
domination.
that? What is that,
Yes.
Walt?
World
I have
domination.
some ideas, but go ahead. What is that there, Walt?
Hey, we would like to be able to go to a convention or two.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
And
I mean,
have
my-
a nice little setup behind us and everything. And
My ultimate goal is to have a studio where we can host guests and, everyone quit their damn day job and just come do Taskforce Geek.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
That's my ultimate goal.
is to quit my day job and do this full time.
Yep, just take over, do so much better than G4 TV, and just do the whole thing. Oh, hey, look at this. Hey, here's Maxine. How you doing?
Hey, it's Mom.
Welcome.
Maybe we can get some of those flight test guys to come in here and give us some pointers.
Flight test guys?
It just if you're on YouTube, look it up. FLITE test. Look them up. Me and Steve eat them up all the time.
Oh my god,
All right.
their stuff is amazing. I would literally disown Kickstarter if I could just spend all my money on what these guys do.
Yeah, ditto that.
You'll have to tell me what's going on there with that.
But then it kind of defeats the purpose, though, doesn't it? So never mind. I'll be on Kickstarter.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's get to our feature presentation. All right. our guest today, one of which has been on really as a contributor, but we're counting her as a guest today. Kat, here's the bio for Kat Pryde. Catherine Pryde has been a voiceover artist, director, and writer with Pendant Productions since 2005, in addition to lending her voice to a number of Pendant's shows, as well as various radio dramas and fan clubs across the internet. Kat is the co-creator of Seminar, director of Dreamnasium, staff writer for The Kingery, and creator, writer, and director of Genesis Avalon, which I signed up for today on my podcasting service. The much-anticipated sequel, Genesis Avalon Patriot, debuted January 26th, 2022, not too long ago. You can catch up very quickly. And you can catch a new episode the last Wednesday of every month at www.pendantaudio.com, and I'll have the link up for that here in a second. Our second guest is Kris Bays. Kris Bays has been a voiceover artist and writer with Pendant Productions since 2007. She is best known for playing Cassandra Arkell, correct?
Yep.
In Pendant Audio's The Kingery from 2012 to today. That's a serious commitment. That's a decade.
Yeah.
The Demon Lilith and Modern Day Merlin in Genesis Avalon, and for being co-writer of Genesis Avalon, as well as its much anticipated sequel, which we will be talking about soon, Genesis Avalon Patriot. Welcome.
Well, thank
To
you.
the two of you.
Thank you for having me back. I appreciate that you guys like me enough to keep bringing me back.
I have some questions that I want to ask, but as always, I want to invite the panel to ask questions as well. And for our watchers, our viewers, watchers.
Watchers.
The watchers.
Watchers and listeners.
Those creepy watchers.
It's either a Marvel reference or a Highlander reference.
They're always
I was
watching.
about to say, that is a double-sided coin.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
there was one.
Highlander reference.
I
I know. That's right.
Weren't we getting some Highlander news, Steve? Sean, Walt, weren't we supposed to be getting some Highlander stuff?
Nothing new that I'm aware of.
Nothing
I'm
new?
not aware of either. Yeah.
I don't think anything news popped down. No.
Nothing
Yeah,
new.
no, believe me, Dirk, the second I hear anything,
Right,
it's gonna
yeah.
be all over.
She's on it.
Yeah.
So-
And you realize
I know how you are.
Before
Yeah.
he tells you, he'll be texting the information to me.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
I will actually
Yeah.
hit.
But
I
I'm
will
listening.
actually hit Beth on Messenger
Yeah.
and say, "Bet, bet, 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 bet,
Yeah,
bet, bet,
Doctor
bet."
Who, and Highlander. This is the guy you have
Yep.
to hit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And macros.
we need to talk about Doctor Who.
Yes, we do.
I've been watching a little bit of that.
Yes, flight test.
I'm not pleased. Apparently, Sean knows about flight tests, so
Flight-
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
I'll just say foam core and RC.
Okay.
All right.
3D printing,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
too. Yeah.
All right.
super large scale aircraft. Anyway,
So
good talk.
to Kat and Kris, tell us about Pendant Productions and your involvement there, please.
Okay, I'll go ahead and kick us off. Okay, so Pendant Productions is a all-volunteer audio drama podcasting company. We've been around since 2005. Our executive producers are Tilly and Susan Bridges. Tilly wonderfully had the idea to start doing radio dramas kind of before it was the advent of
This is
podcasting.
way before.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Very beginning.
Yeah,
back
I mean,
in 2005.
that's crazy. That's
yeah,
way ahead
and-
of its time.
Yeah. To the point where, like, when Welcome to Night Vale first got popular, we were like, yeah, hi, we're also here. We've been
We've
doing
been doing it for like 10 years at that
Yeah.
point. We're like, what is this? Welcome to Night Vale. This is not new.
so Pendant's been around for a long time. We have various casts and crew and directors, producers, audio engineers, script writers. We have folks who do accessibility transcripts and run our Discord, but we are a global group. We have people from in Europe, we have people in New Zealand and Australia, and it's all volunteer. So anybody can sign up and get more information. Anybody can audition for a role or submit a script on this show that I co-created, Seminar. So Seminar is sort of like our Twilight Zone-esque sort of showcase where you can submit short scripts that we will produce for you. So if you're a writer who wants to know if you are interested in the medium of podcasting and radio drama and audio drama, or if you have a short story concept that you would love to hear come to life, we will help you do that. So
that's help with everything.
Yeah.
Tilly and Susan will help you go through the editing process, prep it for audio drama in particular, and then they'll pass it off to a director who will cast it and mix all of the lines together and release it.
Yeah, and the show wraps around. So we have a wrapper script that goes in and kind of ties in each of those shorts thematically to the story, the kind of the larger story of Seminar, which is admittedly meant to be kind of on the slim side. So the focus really is the work of the author who comes in with the short. But it's a fantastic way, in my opinion, if you're nervous about trying it, or if you're a writer who is looking for an opportunity to explore mediums and get experience and work with real professional editors. You can absolutely submit scripts for our show. We are always looking for scripts. We need 2 every 2 months, and there's always slots open. So if you go check out Pendant Audio's Facebook page, we also post all of those requests for scripts as well. So, I mean, like our social media at Pendant Audio is everywhere. So if you find us, you're always going to know when we've got an audition, we've got a new show coming out, anything like that.
And anyone can audition for Pendant Audio shows as well. We post casting calls all the time. We have something like, I just counted, I think 16 shows.
Yes.
Not all of them are ongoing, but they're, 16 different shows you can listen to. There's probably, I think, about 8 running right now. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Between 6 and 8. I'd have to double check where we are right now with a couple of them. But yeah.
So at any given time, they'll post up casting calls for roles, and all you need to audition is a microphone.
Yep.
And a computer.
Yeah. So
I am dying to be on there. I want to do a deal. I'll talk to you about that in just a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Let me put this up per Highlander. Sean says that it's in production as per Cavill. I suspect in pre-production, he says.
Yeah, I remember him talking about reading the script and being like really super into it, but I hadn't heard anything past that point.
And didn't they cast the Kurgan?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Oh no.
I don't remember who it is.
Yeah, I have totally spaced it.
All right. To the two of you, what is Genesis Avalon, and what is new and different with this sequel?
Okay, so Genesis Avalon was my answer to wanting to write a female superhero show, especially in the world of audio drama, where a lot of what was happening in terms of productions were fan productions of DC and Marvel characters. So there were Batman shows, there were X-Men shows across some of those various different companies that I worked with. And I wanted to build something of my own because I had listened to fan productions and realized you could absolutely tell a really riveting superhero story in that medium. So Genesis Avalon was sort of my passion project about a girl who finds out that she is a Celtic superhero. She is the last priestess of the Isle of Avalon, which fell back into the mists many, many centuries ago. And her journey in the first show was all about her accepting her destiny as a superhero, meeting her partner, Exodus Avalon, Sam, and defeating a massive demon overlord who had sort of thrown the underworld into chaos because he had held it with an iron fist for so long. And that's definitely a 50,000 feet overview of the show. I mean, there's so much that happens in that, but that's definitely the original. Without giving too many spoilers away, because if you're going to listen to Patriot, you're going to hear some of them already. At the end of the show, a vicious anti-superhero political movement gained a foothold in the government. And with that, the superheroes Genesis and Exodus Avalon were arrested without cause in the middle of trying to stop a protest, and ended up having to flee the country and go to the UK, where the reincarnation of King Arthur had been found by the Lady of the Lake, and they had to help him defeat Morgan Le Fay. But that meant that this American superhero who finally found her like home culture went to that home culture, and then the U.S. sort of was like stuck. Like there were no superheroes to help anybody, and it was becoming an authoritarian regime, and that's sort of where the the first show left off, and I tried to make it a nice happy ending, but we still had stories we needed to tell. So with that, the events of Genesis Avalon Patriot take place 6 years later.
Before you get to that, you're doing great. But before you get to that, how many episodes was in the original series?
So the original series is 50 episodes.
I mean, holy cats! Yeah. And that's about
and they run,
that's about 30 minutes, right? Per episode?
Anywhere 30 minutes to an hour.
It depends.
Okay.
The vast majority of the episodes ran 30 minutes, but towards the end and in certain season moments, I think we had a couple episodes that ran 45.
Yeah.
But they are definitely the exception, not the norm. But yeah, right. It was a 4.5-year passion project.
I mean, yeah, that's a ton of work. You release one episode a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean,
yep, and
that's a lot of production. I'm going to ask you about that here in a minute.
Yeah.
So now you are starting on the sequel. Tell us about where that comes in.
So 6 years after the events of the original Genesis Avalon series, we revisit our heroes to find that the last 6 years have been great in the UK and the EU, as they're entering this kind of new phase of a very peaceful, almost utopian life. But the Americas have fallen completely to fascism. A new government regime has taken over and suspended suspended a lot of civil liberties. And anybody who is suspected of being a superhero or sympathizing with superheroes will be stolen out of their homes in the middle of the night and sent to resettlement communities. And where we come in, there are 3 heroes that have arisen in the Americas, in North America, who are avatars of the spirit of revolution. And these 3 heroes have to figure out how they can use their powers, and with the help of Genesis and Exodus Avalon, hopefully, find a way to kind of free America from this repressive regime that has taken over, and reestablish a kind of spirit of freedom, equality, fraternity.
Off she goes. But yeah, and to sort of kind of tie that back to Genesis Avalon, we started out the sequel with giving you a time jump and sort of dropping you into the world that Jaina, aka Genesis Avalon, also does not know. So we bring her back to the U.S. because her partner, Exodus Avalon, has been arrested by the U.S. government and literally stolen off the streets in London and brought back to the U.S. So Jaina goes on a daring attempt with Sir Lancelot and also her best friend and familiar Noir to go back to the U.S., which is how eventually we hope she will connect with the spirits of revolution, and we'll see what happens from there.
Very cool.
God save the king!
It sounds. The story sounds really cool. I like all of the elements in it, and it sounds unique, and all of that. I listened to it a little bit today. I want to tell everyone. Well, first off, let me take a break for just a second and back up. If anyone is watching this right now, please like this episode. Please share this episode so people know that we're live and we're talking here. And subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a subscribe. We would appreciate that. Okay, so I listened to one of the episodes today, and what I was really impressed with is the level of production that goes on here. You have music, you've got sound effects, you've got the episode that I listened to had people who were on television, like they were watching television or whatever, and you tweak the audio so you can tell it's kind of on television and in the background, and then you have a character who is also speaking. It's very sophisticated. It sounds great. So I want people to know that it's not just like 4 people sitting around a table reading a script. It's an audio production. It's a drama production like they used to do back in, the 50s.
The olden days. But it's obviously
much, much cooler stuff that you're talking about. And I think that the level of production also is very immersive because, again, it's not just people sitting around a table talking. It's, actually you in the moment with some music and narration, and it's very cool. So what I want to ask is talk us through what it takes to produce one of those episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. So so it's a bit of a long process. I mean, so we write the show in advance so that our cast, which are all remote folks, I'm very lucky we have actually some actual like famous voice actors who work on the show. Laura Post and Chris Hackney both are represented major actors within the anime and video gaming community.
Cool.
So in fact, Chris Hackney is the voice of Dimitri in I'm going to say it wrong. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I say it wrong every time though. And Laura has been everywhere, including the Telltale Games second season of Batman. She was Harley Quinn for that.
And,
So.
cool.
and she's Ari in League of Legends.
Yes, she is. You're right. Thank you.
Wow.
So yeah, so we're very talented. We're very lucky to have an incredibly talented cast of folks who also have, they happen to have home studios. And then we also have folks who, they do this for fun. So they have their home microphone. And so my job is to get the cast the script. They all record their lines separately and they come into me and they are numbered by line number. So I know what character's talking and where they are in the script.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I have
That
to go
is
in. Yeah, then I have to go in and line clean everybody, so everybody's got their own noise in the background that I have to clean out by actor. And then depend from here. Like some directors do it differently than I do. I like to do a mix of just the line reads first, so that I can really hear the chemistry between the actors to make sure that they sound organic against each other, even if there's no sound effects or anything around them first.
Sure.
Once I've done that, I then drop that in to, and I use Adobe Audition for all of this, by the way, in case anyone's curious. I know there's Pro Tools out there, but Audition's the one I use. And from there, I drop it in scene by scene, and I will go through and pick my sound effects. We use all royalty-free sound effects, courtesy of SoundSnap. And we use music by the Tune Peddler and a couple other royalty-free composers, but we always credit them at the end so you know exactly who's doing what. But from there, I listen and I figure out what I want to do. A lot of times I already have, because I'm the writer, or in this case, we're the writers, we've already talked through the scenes. I kind of know how I want it to sound. And I love to play with the idea, like you said, Dirk, that it's immersive. So my goal is for you to feel like you're in the middle of the action. I want you to feel like you put those headphones on to listen and you're right there with the actors. You can hear them going across your headphones. You can hear bullets go around you. That's one of my favorite moments in episode 3 that just came out, actually, is there's a moment where someone gets shot at and you can hear the bullets go ping, 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 ping around them and hit the wood behind them in the door. So I block it like a scene because I come from a stage background. And then I mix it with kind of the sounds that I want in mind. And then once all the sound effects work is done, I then stitch it all together and then I add the music. So there's a lot of like musics that are transitions between scenes, and then there's stuff that goes underneath the whole thing. And yeah, and that's a month of work. Like, I mean, I've gotten it done to a science. I could typically get it done in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. And I do some tweaking before, after that.
And all in all, the process from writing to release, I would say probably 4 months.
Wow.
Month to write it, month to get it reviewed and edited, a month where it's out to cast, and then a month where you're mixing it.
Yeah.
And then it might be a couple more months until it's actually released, because just falling into the release schedule.
Yeah.
But like if we had to produce something as quickly as we could, that's about.
Yeah, it's definitely a 4 month,
4 or 5
from
months.
4 to 5 months from script to finished product, and then dependent as a general rule, we run in advance. So I turn in episodes way before they ever go to the audience. So you guys are listening to episode 3. I've already mixed episode 5, and episode 6 is out to the cast, and I'm just waiting for them to turn in lines. So if any of you are watching, give me your lines, please. I love you.
Did you send me a script?
What does the script? I mean, if you know, like if you were doing this in a New York recording studio or something, and everyone was there, you could direct the people, but you can't have that. So what does the script look like where you can tell them your character is angry or your character is confused or, you know, stuff like that?
We do put script direction in, so we'll have, you know, your character's line, and then underneath, like angrily or upset, or like the first half of the line, and then pause, thinks about it, last half of the line. And the way that we encourage our actors to record is to record several takes and give us a couple of reads that are similar, but also give us some reads that are a little bit different. So if the line is something like, hold on a minute, I want to go with you, it might be something like, hold on a minute, I want to go with you. Or
oh, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, okay.
Or
go for
hold on a minute, I want to go with you. Or hold on a minute, I want to go with you. So you have a couple of different takes.
You have a little latitude.
A little bit of latitude. So then when the director takes the different takes, you can kind of go, oh, this one take that was really like intense goes really well with the other actor. And with Avalon, this is something where we've been doing this for a very long time, and a lot of our actors have been playing these characters for a very long time. So they kind of know how the other people sound. When it's a case of you don't know anybody, I think it's very rare that we've had to go back to an actor and go, can you actually give us a read that's like this?
Yeah, we have several new actors too, because we have a bunch of new characters. And the two guys who play Patriot and Minuteman, Jawan and Ben, they're never in the same room. they never hear each other other than when the finished product comes out. But they both give us very, very solid different types of takes, and I'm always able to just make that chemistry work. And I mean, they also just have natural, phenomenal chemistry together. But and then the other thing is we also encourage ad libs. So if I have an actor that I know,
I was just about to ask about that.
Yeah, in fact, for those who have started to listen to the show, Leo, aka Sir Lancelot, I jokingly call Paul the RDJ of our show because I give him the script and there are lines on that page, and I'm just like, I know you're gonna get me the gist of it, so just figure out how you get there and I'll make it work. And he comes up with hilarious ad libs. I mean, episode 3, he's hysterical because half of what's in there is all him making stuff up. So
they have the rest of the script, though, right?
Yes. Yeah. The cast gets the entire
so they don't
script,
just get
so they know what's going on around them.
And we try to give the cast, even if you aren't in the episode, we try to still give you the script because you're going to be in next month's.
Right.
You need to know what happened in the previous month.
Yeah, for sure. And how much do the actors influence the characters that they're doing? Do they have any input on that, or? So
I encourage an open dialogue. I want to hear from my actors what they like about their characters, what might be difficult. We try to give especially with Patriot, we try to give very, very simple character descriptions because we know we're asking a lot. There's a lot of heavy topics in this show, even on top of just it being a superhero show. There's a lot of heavy political and socioeconomical, subject matter. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And so we want the actors to feel comfortable with what they're playing and how they're playing those roles. And then, we have, I always encourage feedback, and I have had several actors come to me and go, I really love doing this. I'd love to do more of this thing. Is that something I could do? Or I have some actors, and you know who you are, who just sort of like email me to fangirl at me, and I love it. It's the best day. This is my favorite. Yeah, when you already love the direction I'm taking you, great, awesome. We're on the same journey. It's great. So they have some input, especially in kind of like the chemistry that they build with another actor. But oftentimes I try to, if I'm going to massage the story at all, it's going to be because I heard something probably between actors before they did. Or I heard something in an actor's read before they realized they were doing it.
All right. Well, did someone have a question?
I was just going to say, do you need somebody to just sit back there to give you Wormer background noise?
You want to be a
I want to be a
Very
wormer.
A
professional
walk-on?
wormer.
We put out casting calls all the time, and we have something that we call the steward pool.
Yes.
That is all of your random guards, random cops, random Gestapo bad guys. And almost every episode, there is an ask for those people to also do all of the.
Yeah,
If you want to be added, feel free. Let me know. Yeah, I can put you on the list, Walt.
I asked that because listening to this, I was thinking about a Justice League Unlimited, the extra stuff. And Bruce Timm said, "Oh yeah, there's a couple of episodes where we just jump in and do Wormer." And the guy's like, "What's Wormer?"
Yep.
He goes, all the background noise, Wormer.
All the
Wormer,
background
Wormer.
warmer.
Yep. And we do it all the
all the time.
And I played a character in the first Genesis Avalon. I don't play anyone in this one. So a lot of times if there's like a random character and it's not listed as somebody in the cast, it's me. I just don't list myself. It's
Awesome.
like there's random people that talk and it'll be me. And then you just won't see that reporter has a credit next to their name. Like whatever
Usually when she
Yes, dear.
There's your wormer. There's your wormer.
apparently he wants in. Usually if she needs some random, British dude, I'll get an email. I need a random British dude.
You say that like you're not officially on my cast list. You
No,
are.
I know I am.
I'm on my cast list whenever the UK stuff shows up. I'm like, well, I know someone who can do a British accent.
Hey, cousin's trying to talk.
I went to your website on Pendant today, and they had in the frequently asked questions section, they said, "Hey, if you're interested in being a voice actor or an artist," it said an artist or something else, I don't remember what it was, or writer for the deal, join our Yahoo group.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Updated.
Yahoo.
So
Yahoo group.
I went to Yahoo and logged into an account that I probably haven't been on in about 10 years. And there, at least as far as I can tell, there is no Yahoo group.
Yeah, this
So-
Yahoo groups no longer exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't have one.
So-
but
Had one forever.
Yeah.
So here is my question. If you are an artist or a writer, or you want to get involved in that group, where do you go and what do you do?
My biggest advice, my best advice is follow Pendant Audio on Twitter and also follow Pendant Audio on Facebook. Those are the two places where we post all the time, and we post literally every production update that we have. And in that way, you'll always know first about casting calls. And if you just want to say, "Hey, I'm interested. What can I do?" We'll probably let you know. Hey, there'll be a call for writers. There will be a call for directors. There will be a call for actors. Whatever you're interested in, and we will. You can reach out and audition that way. So definitely get on our Facebook page, get involved. That's also how you'll find out about every show's release date. So
You might tell them to update that FAQ.
Yeah.
I will. I'm gonna talk to the EP
so
right now.
funny.
That's hilarious.
This is hysterical. So, Kat, how long have you actually been writing Patriot and Genesis Avalon and Patriot?
Okay.
So Genesis Avalon, I started writing in 2007. I didn't actually get it into production with Pendant officially until almost 2010. And that's because it kind of went through a couple rounds where I tried to produce it myself.
It was February 2009.
Was it 2009?
That's when I joined the cast.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Sorry. So yeah, time
She
is
said, "I want to go with you."
meaningless. It all blurs together. So 2009. You're right. Yeah, 2009. I got it into production with Pendant officially, and that was because I had been working on Seminar prior to that point, and I had Avalon sitting out there and was writing it, and kind of talked to Tilly and was like, "Can I produce the show with Pendant? Do you mind?" And she was like, "Go right ahead. There you go." And then we wrapped production on Avalon in 2014, and we knew we had intentionally set pieces on the board at the end of Avalon for Patriot. We always knew we were going to come back and do Patriot. It was supposed to be a 1-year gap. It ended up being a 6-year gap. But we wrote all of season 1 in between 2020 and 2021. In 2020, at the beginning of the year, I sat down and wrote the whole season 1 outline, ran it by Chris based off of what we talked about, and then sent it to Tilly to say, "I think I'm ready to do the show. What do you think?" And she was like, "You're ready. I'm ready. I've been waiting." And then we started writing it. So and now I'm working on season 2. So that's where I'm at. I'm just started writing that actually like last month.
Let me back out here for just a second, get some comments up here. We've been getting them. On way back when we were talking about Highlander, Dave Bautista is the Kurgan.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that.
I'm ready to see that right now.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill and Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Henry Cavill in the same movie.
Good Lord, that is
Calm down, Chris. It's okay. Okay.
that
This
is
is 10 years ago.
that is pretty awesome.
The idea of a new Highlander. I'm like, come on, get on with it.
Yeah.
I realized this was aimed at Michelle, but you might as well put it up there. She asked for a tank top, right?
She did.
With
And-
the
and-
retro logo on it.
Did you find it or did you just create it?
I created it.
Okay, well there you go. That's
See how fast
when you
we
go
are?
to the guy, you see how you can make things happen.
See how
So-
fast we are?
There it
Well,
is.
it's beautiful when you put somebody up on full screen. That means I can get things done.
Ye ask, and you shall receive. And Michelle says thank you to that. And then Michelle also says, hate to tell you this, but Darren is stealing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Like I
got
said,
that baby.
it was one of those things
I'm just jealous of the fact that he has hair.
I will say this: he was making his pitch to be baby noises for Pendant Audio.
That's true.
Yes,
Clearly.
yes, he
True.
was.
Clearly.
Doing a bang up job.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question that I have is if someone is interested in Genesis Avalon, where do they go and what do they do?
Pendantaudio.com.
Do that again, please. Do that again.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Please tell me that's the bumper you have before all your audio bits like Audible. This is Audible.
Audible.com. No, you can go to pendantaudio.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Amazon, or not? Are we? No.
We are on iTunes.
iTunes?
We are on
Stitcher.
Stitcher, thank you.
Yeah.
Stitcher.
I know, Spotify too
And
now.
obviously you can get us direct
Google
from
Play.
like Google Play.
Google Play.
We are no longer on Spotify. We were on
Oh.
Spotify.
Yeah.
We are not on Spotify currently. That is a decision by our EP. So that's the way it is right now. So
All right.
But you're on Stitcher, so that's good. That works for me.
yeah.
I totally get the Spotify thing.
Yeah.
I am
I
not
totally get it.
I am not on any of those, but I got it on the podcast server that I use. So it's out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just in the places
Absolutely.
you mentioned. And I also just went to Pendant Audio, picked an episode, and you can download it right there.
Yep.
Yes.
Download
So if you
high
just
quality.
if you're the type of person that just can't seem to, you're non-committal, then you can just go there and you can listen to an episode. I think if you listen to about 5 minutes of it, you're going to see what's going on there, and I think that you're going to be ready to sign up and subscribe for it. It's definitely worth your time for sure.
I'm going to go ahead and get a Genesis Avalon mug just because I love the freaking
Of course
artwork.
you
That
are,
logo is
Steve.
cool.
I have
That
two.
logo is
One of them-
cool, man.
One of them
We have
got
two,
shipped
yeah.
and almost died, so I was like, "Oh, my mug!" And so she just ordered me another one. She's
And
like,
we
"Here you
have
go."
we have a laptop bag.
I do. I have a laptop
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
with
the laptop bags are
I don't think the
cool.
laptop bags are available anymore because that was from eons ago.
I don't know, but those were the nicest messenger
Back
bags.
during the Yahoo Groups times.
It might have been.
Back in the olden days.
Way back in the olden days, right down the road there.
We've been trying so hard to stay up to times with the kids. It's tough.
Discord.
The
Yes,
youngins.
we're on Discord.
We do have a
I
Discord.
think it's
Yep.
it's currently invite only. Like you have to be involved in some way with with one of the shows. But
Discord is the hot app right now
yes.
for that sort of thing. What's next for you two? What do you? I mean, obviously you're maybe another 47 episodes or.
I think we've got 24.
Currently, the plan is 24, so
Yeah.
2 seasons.
2 seasons.
I have ideas that could go past that. I don't know that they would be labeled Patriot, but they would definitely be within the universe of Genesis Avalon and would involve a lot of those same characters. But at the moment, the plan is to go for the 2 seasons that we've got planned, and they're massive, like in terms of like story and what we're doing. So.
Meanwhile, Kat is still a staff writer on our show Kingery.
Yes.
Which is a mobster dramedy set in space.
And it is raunchy and it is
really
R-rated,
raunchy, R-rated.
It's so fun.
We don't do that here. We don't do anything of an adult nature here.
We have the Kingery Road Resort and
Kingery
Casino.
Road Resort and Casino.
I
So
love that.
it's a road resort and casino in space, and
Very cool.
it's got the
That
mafia.
sounds cool.
It's
It
got body
does.
swapping. It's got aliens. It's a lot of fun, and I'm one of the staff writers. I also play one of the main characters, Tithia, and then obviously Chris plays.
I play one of the main characters, Cassandra Arkell, and I actually won an award for that this
You
past
did.
year. I
You
won
did.
our
Hey.
internal,
Whoa, hey.
internal Pendy Awards.
We
Best
like that.
Actor.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Who did you win it from?
Oh, it was our own. It was like our internal
So it was
like
our-
fan award.
Fan awards. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
I'm still gonna take it.
Hey,
No, it's awesome because it's by our fans. So the fans decided that you were the best
You bet.
actor this year. It's awesome.
That's
It's because I do this ridiculous voice, and everybody seems to love it.
I love it.
My
Part
ridiculous.
Asian, part.
And with that,
Super East Texas,
subscribe.
Louisiana. Yes, I
Uh,
play a mob boss with a super East Texas, Louisiana accent.
It works.
And a real penchant for violence.
Yes.
Now, Pendant Audio has won some of the industry awards, though, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We've won Parsec Awards. I believe we've won a couple of Audioverse Awards as well. So we do submit every year. A lot of our shows tend to run at weird times or otherwise are like limited runs. There we go. That's what I'm thinking of. And so you will tend to see us pop up on those awards as well. I believe we won something for Dreamnasium, which was awesome. That was a limited mini series that we worked on for the writer Jeffrey Thorne, and he is awesome. He's the writer on The Librarians. He also produced Phantom Canyon for us. So if you're interested in his work, I would highly recommend going and listening to Dreamnasium. It's sort of like a bit like it's another short story sort of anthology series, but it's a little bit longer form. So most of them are 2 parts. And I directed 2 of them. I directed The Lingering Grief of Twilight, which is another one about a superhero. You can kind of see the similarities.
Superheroes.
Yeah, and then I also helped direct on the one called Redshift. So that's wild. I highly recommend if you're looking for like a small snippet of what Pendant has to offer. Dreamnasium is perfect. It's only a few episodes, but it's a great way for you to kind of
sounds cool.
Feel how immersive radio drama works. So yeah.
Do you own a part of your story or all of it, or what is the arrangement that you have with your
Yeah, so Genesis Avalon is mine. I completely own the scripts and I own the concept and everything I've written. The only thing that technically is copyright pendant productions is the final product. So you as a writer retain all of your rights. I could go write a book, which I keep telling all my fans I'm going to write for Avalon. I know, guys.
That's right where I'm going.
When I'm done with Patriot, you will get the novels finally.
I'm holding
So you
that,
could-
'cause
Okay.
So you could-
for years.
You
Is there
could take
fan
the
fiction
story
anytime?
and you could conceivably make a comic out of it,
Oh yes.
or a book, or maybe if Hollywood comes calling.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute, what do we got here?
Uh-oh.
In fact, this is actually the official licensed. This is the official comic of one of our radio shows. This is Dixie Stenberg and the Brassy Battalion.
Okay.
Okay.
That is so
it's
cool.
real 40s drama kind of like vibe to it. It's a World War II.
I like that artwork.
Yeah, that one.
Peng Peng.
Yeah,
And Flash Turner.
Yeah, so Brian Turner
Brandon Gaylord.
and Jerry Gaylord worked on it.
Jerry
So
Gaylord.
we absolutely have the right to do any sort of other adaptations of our media. The only thing that Pendant has real ownership over is the final product, because one of the great things about Pendant is Tilly is incredibly creator focused. She wants this to be a haven for
I'm
creators.
glad I asked that question.
Yeah,
I think that's very interesting. So if Netflix calls up and they want to do a series on your, on your product, then you can do it.
You can call me. It's fine. Yeah, call me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little spoiled.
You hear that, Netflix?
But,
Call her, Netflix.
Call her, Netflix. Call her.
Peacock.
Or if Netflix doesn't work out, come on, Amazon Prime. Come on.
Yeah.
Netflix seems to throw money at everything. Like if you could just get in front of people, like they're gonna greenlight it. If everyone gets a green light, you get a green light, you get a green light.
You have to turn the whole show into one season, just in case they decide to cancel it. So it's Netflix is like, you get 1, maybe 2 seasons, and then we're done. Oh, okay.
Don't call it Genesis Bebop.
Yeah. No. Painful.
Does anyone have any other questions for these
I'm still
two?
bitter about that.
Anything that you two want to add?
Not at all. You covered all the bases.
Yeah, you were asking all the questions that were in my head. So, you know, brothers of different mothers, we all think alike.
I want to know what Pat's Pat's got up her sleeve after Genesis Patriot.
Oh, so after Patriot is over.
For Genesis Avalon, you don't get to know that.
No, I'm not going
to
do it.
No. She knows what I'm asking. She knows what I'm asking.
Yeah, so after Genesis Avalon Patriot, I'm going to go back to working on my manuscript for my sci-fi novel Last of the Peacekeepers.
There you go.
Similarly, if you love Genesis Avalon, you will like this. It's technically in the same universe, just like 100 years or 200 years.
Do you want in on Last of the Peacekeepers?
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, okay.
So
how long you been writing that one, Kat?
Well, kind of like how long you've been writing Beyond the Steps of Stone Lady.
Oh, hey yo. Hey yo.
Fist bump.
So yeah, so
fist bump. That was good.
Yep. Yeah, so I started writing Last of the Peacekeepers in its first iteration right out of high school, and then I took a look at the manuscript a few years ago and was like, I want to do this differently. I've learned so much more now, and the story I want to tell is a little different. So I'm working through the manuscript again, and I'm basically doing a complete rewrite. I'm not keeping anything from the old manuscript. I'm just rewriting the whole thing. So that's why it's taking a little while, much to Beth's chagrin.
That's right. Beth has a copy of the original manuscript.
Yeah, you actually do. So that's my plan, is to go back and working on that, and also to also start working on the novelizations of Genesis Avalon. I want to get Peacekeepers done first because that technically is after all the events of Avalon. So I want to have that sort of set up so I can go back and sort of do the fun thing of reverse peppering in all the references to stuff that's going to be in Peacekeepers that nobody realizes is a reference. That's fun stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I'm going next.
All right. We want to encourage everyone right now to get over to Pendant Audio, check out that stuff, Genesis Avalon, or the Kingery, or what else did you mention?
Seminar,
Dreamnasium.
Yep, absolutely. And then
check it out. I mean, it's you're not going to have to pay $29.95. You can go just start listening right now.
Yeah, it is all for the price of free. It's completely free.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah, and
like I said, I signed up on my
price.
I signed up on my podcast service this afternoon for it's very easy, and you can go back to the original series, or you can sign up on the new one, or whatever you want to do, and keep track of what's going on.
Yeah, Dirk, I gotta go listen to all this.
You got a lot of listening to do.
We both have a lot of listening to do. Now
you're gonna get hooked.
So once my training is done at work, I have something to listen to.
There you go. Yeah, if you don't have time for the full 50 episode commitment of Genesis Avalon yet, I understand it's a lot. Start with Patriot. We've built it so that you can learn the universe as you go. It's designed to have a lot of newscasters and a lot of people talking about things that you're hopefully going to hear it because we try to have a voice of the audience somewhere in the show for you. So
it's entertaining.
Get into
I'll give you the props there. It's entertaining stuff.
Walt, I know you've got a hella drive too, man. Just Bluetooth that stuff like an audiobook. Go.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Go to Pendant Audio.
Kind of commute fodder because it's gonna, you put it on. You got a half an hour commute. That's one episode. You got an hour commute. You got through 2 episodes.
And once I find you guys online, I'm gonna see if I can do a voice or something.
Yes, absolutely.
We always need more voices.
Send me that link when you get it there.
Wormer.
That would be great. I don't know where all that background noise is coming from, but it's coming through strong.
All right, we're moving on to our next subject, and here it comes. Here it is. Beth won an award.
I did.
Won an award.
That's
I
our
saw that.
subject.
Was it a major award? Did it come in a box from Fragile?
I could have ordered and paid for it, but I didn't.
Please tell me it was a leg lamp.
That would be
Leg
great.
lamp. Was that an award?
It
A
was
major award. A major award. Mind powers. Mind powers. Powers of the mind.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, I did. I won an award.
But it was mind powers.
Let me put you up here. You and the star of the show tonight, Darren.
Yeah, sorry, Kat. Your baby cousin is just,
Why are you apologizing? I'm getting to watch all this cuteness for free.
I know that is true. That is true.
Oh, and Darren too.
Kat,
So Darren, what did you think about The Hobbit?
He says it was an incredible honor being a guest star.
he was fascinated by the fight scenes. That's what was cracking me up. My husband is an RPGer, and he created 2 orcs for a new game, and that's why he got on this kick to watch The Hobbit. He was like, comes home one day and he goes, I need a Bolgan Azog fix, and I'm like, okay, we're watching The Hobbit apparently. So he was checking out the orcs with his grandfather. So, but yeah, so back to topic. I did win an award. Kat was not joking over the fact that she's been writing Last of the Peacekeepers as long as I've been writing Beyond the Steps of Stone. I went ahead for Kakas and Giggles and entered it in a contest. It's called the Book Fest Awards. It was judged by other writers in the field. Let me see if I can find who some of them were. It was off the top of my head. I don't remember. Let's see. Well, since they did all of this, and now I'm not sure if
Let's follow up on that in a minute. Let's show
Yeah.
the thing here.
Let's show them the thing.
Let's show the thing.
It looks so cool.
Look at
And
this.
so I entered the book in 3 categories. I entered it in romance science fiction, and then science fiction aliens and alien invasion, and then science fiction post-apocalyptic. I entered the contest in January, completely forgot about it until I got an email saying, hey, the Book Fest Awards is this weekend. And I was like, oh yeah, I entered that. So I went and looked. Went on the website, and my mouth hit the floor, especially with the first place award for romance science fiction.
So cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So cool.
2 awards.
Massive congratulations.
Awards.
So awesome. It's so well deserved. The book is so good.
Award-winning author.
Yes, which this is actually
Yeah,
very timely
really.
because I'm going to be printing this out because I'm doing a book show this weekend. So I will have that next to, a pile of books in the hopes of maybe, selling quite a few.
You should go get a page of stickers.
Oh, there you go.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
I am all about the stickers.
Well, Beth, my schedule is filling up fast. If you want me to audiobook this thing for you, then we need to get on it.
Need to get
I
going.
love you, Steve. I wish you had asked me that months ago because my narrator almost has it finished.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That absolutely needed to happen. So
Yeah.
That's
Paul
awesome.
says hi, Chris and Kat.
Hi, Paul. That's our Lancelot. That's Leo. We love him.
Wow.
Hey, they just said good things about. They said terrible things about you. You've got to go
Yeah,
back.
dude, Paul.
Hey,
Awesome.
hey,
I feel for
Hey.
you, man.
Paul, terribly good things about you, that is.
Yeah.
Terribly good things.
Yeah, they said good
Paul,
things
why you
about
gotta
you.
ruin the shtick, man.
I wanted him to panic and go, oh, I got to listen to the whole thing now.
Thanks, Mom.
But he's going to go back and watch now because now he wants to know what.
Oh yeah, now he's gonna want to know what we said about him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Either way, he's going to want to know. So
Maxine says, congratulations, Beth.
Thanks, Maxine. I appreciate it.
Paul is on to me.
So if anybody out there has listened to the audiobook for The Legend of Captain St. Pierre, my narrator for St. Pierre, Dan Storm, is the one who has narrated Beyond the Steps of Stone. And Kat, I'm going to tell you this. you will appreciate his Alan Tudyk-ish Averton.
Because Averton's my favorite character.
Averton is your favorite character. you will appreciate the
I need
spin
a
he put
minute.
on Averton. She needs a minute. She's left.
Wow.
Yes, I know.
She's vapors. She's
Now,
feeling
is it
the
Averton
vapors.
or Resident Alien?
She's feeling the vapors right now.
Yeah.
Be nice, Steve. Be nice. Not everybody's ready.
Beth, have you ever won an award?
Yes.
What else have you won?
Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray, the very first novel I ever wrote. I entered that in the Arch Books first annual publishing contest. I entered it in women's fiction, and I took first place, and that was how I got my traditional publishing contract.
Oh,
So cool.
Yes. That's
Other awards I have won, I've won for my Farscape fanfiction.
Steve? Did Steve give you an award?
Steve ought to give me an award for all of the stuff that I forwarded to him.
The Steve Awards.
He's handing them out every week.
The Shankies.
Yes.
Oh, see, now that's going to be a thing. It's going to be a thing now.
Make a T-shirt on
Now,
that.
isn't it?
Hey, there's
Making
no-
note of that right now. You just won a Shanky.
So,
Goodness gracious. Brian James
now-
says,
now-
Mr. Hooper, you and Walter, the best people I know. And it isn't even close.
Ah, what? Hey,
let
hold
me
on a
let me do
minute.
my best Randy Orton right now.
There you go. There you go. So, and also, Dirk, I just happened to think of this. In third grade, when we were told that all of us had to write a book for third grade,
Yes.
I won.
Hey, you got
And for years,
I have.
for years, my little book Topaz and His Adventure was in the library at my local elementary school up in New York.
I have an award that I put on my resume from when I was in school.
Mhm.
It was like a senator gave me an award for leadership or something.
Mhm.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
It's
keep
like
it
a senator gave me an award for leadership. I mean, it sounds awesome. So anyway, you gotta put those awards out there.
Oh yeah,
Beth, congratulations for winning
Absolutely.
the award.
thank
This
you.
is a brand new book. You've already won an award on it and stuff.
Yeah.
You need to solicit it for the Hugo Awards or something.
If I can
The
figure out
Saturns.
how to get it out there to people like Oprah, and I know people.
Get on Oprah's list. Holy
I know
crap!
people that are, other romance authors, they're able to put USA Today or, best-selling author, and I'm going,
Yeah.
how on earth do you guys even get your books in front of these people? That's what I need to know. So if anybody knows, please let me know.
Because that sounds like something for book crew. Whoosh.
Publicist,
Yeah, no joke. That might be a good one for
probably
Yeah.
agents or publicists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get that award on your Amazon list.
I need to get it on my
Heck
Amazon,
yes.
I
You need to get it on
my
everything.
website.
Everything. You need to wear a shirt with it on there.
Well,
I
you
won
And
a
a hat.
Shanky. I won a Shanky because of.
The Shanky Award. Everybody's gonna be
Right.
like, "What's the Shanky Award?"
This
That's
happened
right.
Saturday, and my weekend has been a little crazy and everything. And like today was the first day where I was really even able to do much of anything, like throw together the graphic. So I did throw a quick post up on social media for people to see, but probably tomorrow it's going to be plastered all over everything, and I'll print them out for the book signing this weekend.
You got to do it.
Actually, I love that idea, Chris, about going and getting the stickers and
Seriously, yeah.
Slapping them on the book.
slap
Great idea.
slap them on the inside of the book or something. Yeah.
Oh, on the outside, on the cover.
on the
Outside.
outside, on the cover.
Okay, you put it on the cover. Yeah.
Absolutely on
There's
the cover.
no
You
reason
could-
why you can't put that on your cover. That's
Yeah,
your
that's
award,
true.
and you
It's
know
my book. I'm self-published.
Even if you weren't self-published, I'm pretty sure you could stick a label. I mean, it's like
Now-
you could stick a $7.99 label on
It
it.
has-
I think you could put an award
It
on
has
it.
to be one of those old 1973-esque foil stamp, like sunburst
Yeah,
stickers.
Right.
Where it's like
yeah.
embossed.
embossed. Yeah.
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 Now your Shanky sticker, you can put that on the inside.
You put that on
That will,
everything.
that will be made of 24 karat gold.
You put that on. You can put that on people's
I'll
cars
email
and on
you
their
my
pets.
address. I'll
me
email you
update.
my address for the Shanky Awards.
Hey, starting tonight, April 5th, 2022, all other award shows have just fallen by the wayside.
Agreed.
No one will get
2023 is going to
slapped.
be the year of the Shanky.
So one thing I am
And there will be a real reason to be slapped.
Yeah.
That's
One
what
thing
that's how you get the award, is that they can't get the award and then just go bang.
And that's the only time I'm going to mention the slap.
Yeah.
That's right.
There
So,
we go. We talked
We're not
about
going to
it.
give it any more airtime than that.
That's it.
Keep my friend Beth's name out of your mouth.
No. Put Beth's name
Oh, yeah.
in your mouth.
Fuck you guys. Oh my god.
Put Beth's name in your mouth.
So since
Whoa,
I know
that-
we've
Read
got
the book.
a bunch-
Whoa.
since I know we've got a bunch of audio and graphic people on here too, the Book Fest Awards does they do have categories for audio novels and graphic artwork for book covers and stuff like that as well. If I had the extra, the little extra cash, I probably would have tossed Max in the ring for his reading of Behind the Eyes of Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was lucky I could afford the 3 categories I was
Sure.
putting this one in.
Yeah. How does it feel to win?
You know what?
Have you been able to process it? Or?
It never gets old. It took me probably a good
It's fun.
two or 3 hours to
Right?
yeah. Well, that's long. I was sitting on the couch looking at it, watching Deep Space Nine with my husband, and I said, Dan. He's like, what? I was like, pause. He's like, what's the matter? And I just went like this with my phone and showed it to him, and he's like, way to go, babe. And I'm sitting there like trying not to cry, trying not to totally freak out. It was like when I won the award for Dorian all over again. It doesn't get old. It's because it's validation.
It's nice to get the validation.
Yeah, it's the validation more than anything.
Yep.
So for
I
all
would've
of
been-
all of podcast land out there, hold up Darren and say, I'd like to thank the Academy.
I would like to thank the Academy.
I appreciate that you've committed to the bit. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that.
They're handing out babies with this award?
Apparently. Yeah.
So,
Maxine says you have been
I have been
sanctified.
sanctified.
You got a shanky.
I got a shanky.
Everyone's full of sanctification tonight. I like
There you go. All right. We're moving on to our next subject, which is going to be kind of similar. Here it goes.
That is the most chill music. God, I love that.
It is very chill. Yeah.
I won an award.
Whoa! Again?
There it is right there.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Awesome.
This is the ASN. This is for adults only, folks. This is the ASN Lifestyle Magazine, and I won for Best Lifestyle Podcast. There you go. And I got the award to show for it. Thank you very much.
So that's
award.
That's two for photography.
That's free
Isn't it?
for photography.
Free for photography? I didn't know about the third one. I knew about the first two.
Yeah. I
See,
got
well, there's a very quickly developing theme here. Are you catching on to this?
that.
We're on the bottom. We're the bottom 2 squares on the grid tonight. All right. We got celebrity. Not cool, Dirk. Not cool.
Hey, I'm fine with it. But you want to know why? You want to know why, Steve?
We're in the presence of greatness, my brother.
I know this guy. I know this person, and I know those two over there too. See, I'm on the show with them.
I'm 2 out of 3, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Hey,
Getting
you
there.
and I used to work together and traded, plenty of stories. So yeah.
I did a comic book with this one a long time ago, and I used to work with this one too. So
And we are working on something together. So
yeah, we are kind of all working together on something.
There you go.
Yeah. And face it, you are Uncle Walt. So
Aww.
stereo, though. So sorry.
My
Hey,
award was for the Safe Word podcast. It's been out for a couple of years now. Again, it's adults only, although it's pretty tame. Let's be honest, but it does deal with adult relationship type stuff. And anyway, I got it for whatever. It's my producing award.
So cool, man.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Pretty
I love
excited
it.
about that.
Fantastic.
Let's see it again.
I've
Yeah,
been
let's
doing podcasts since 2005, and
Yeah.
it's nice to win an award. There you go.
Shanky is in the mail.
well deserved.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah.
Best
Nice.
lifestyle podcast.
I love it.
Pretty cool.
Well,
I won.
deserved.
I won
Go
three.
us.
I won 3 years in a row. I'm the reigning, defending, undisputed, undefeated
That means
best fetish photographer in the world. They have not held, because of COVID, they have not held another deal. So I am the defending
We're the defending champion.
The reign.
champion,
You
Yeah.
are the
Defending.
reigning champion.
Reigning
We need,
champion.
hey,
Yeah.
we need where's Paul
undefeated,
Heyman? We need Paul
indisputed.
Heyman. We need Paul Heyman to say that for you.
Yep. I also won top writer award at Quora 3 years in a row too. So I'm triple on writing as well.
Well, now if I can get my butt in gear, I can start getting my,
I
my
think-
blog back out on Quora.
Dirk, the most memorable thing that you that you wrote on Quora that I thought was kind of out there was when you had that one article about what's her name, Ronda Rousey losing the UFC, and ESPN picked it up. And
They did.
and republished it. And I was like,
Yes.
what?
And-
That's cool.
The Sporting News in MSN Sport.
Yeah,
Wow.
That got me a few credits.
it did.
No kidding, yeah.
Because it was like, what? Because I'm like going through like when Ronda
I
Rousey
broke it
lost,
down pretty good.
Yeah, when Ronda Rousey lost that. Yeah, when Ronda Rousey lost that bout, I'm just going through like I'm trying to find everything I possibly can to hear what people are saying about it, and I'm like, Dirk Hooper.
Did I just hear that right?
I'm like, is this right?
Is
I'm
that,
like, is this right?
is that the same Dirk Hooper? Is that the Dirk Hooper I know?
Exactly. That's what went through my head. And then he shares it. He said, "Look, I got picked up by." I'm like, "Oh, that was Dirk Hooper."
It was Dirk
Yeah,
Hooper.
it went all over the place.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
pretty
like
awesome.
me that was like me that day that I got the audition. Max Brown. No, can't be that Max Brown.
Yeah, that was a fun call from you. You were like, "You're not gonna believe it." You know that guy from the Tudors? And I was like, maybe? I don't know. Can you be a little more specific?
Edward Seymour. Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
okay, yeah.
Thank you, Maxine.
Very cool, man.
That is super cool.
Very
I love
cool,
it.
all of you.
I love it.
Seriously, well done.
I won that about 2 months ago, but I didn't announce it because we didn't have a new episode out of the Safe Word podcast. We were on hiatus. And again, due to COVID, I had my own issues. She had the other person on there also was traveling around and doing all kinds of stuff. But she contacted me a couple of weeks ago, and we did a new episode. And
I was going to
so,
say.
so now we're doing the tour.
Do one, yeah.
Now
Yeah,
we're
you just
doing
put
the
one
tour.
out. What, like last week?
Yesterday. I just put it out. We recorded it 2 weeks ago, but I put out the new episode yesterday.
I was
I
like, I
knew
know
I
I
thought it would be-
saw a note.
You know what? Sometimes we just need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, the stuff that happened on her end and in my end, we just, you can't always produce this stuff around the clock. Sometimes you got to take a break on it. So that's
Like a
what we do.
6-year
I
Sometimes
now,
it's longer than you want.
right, and I now understand why I have to wait so long in between breaks for last week tonight. I know. I get it now. I get it.
Was that when I was knocking down your door, Dirk? I was doing, where's the next show? Where's the next show?
Next show.
My Tuesday nights suck right now. Where's that show?
That was easy.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We're going to move on to our news portion, and here it comes.
I think for fun, we need to shoot a video of us in a lowrider cruising today.
We need a
Who I-
Task Force Geek
Zoolander
number
with
music.
the orange Julius's.
Right.
I am dying.
Yes.
Orange mocha frappuccinos. The scene of the thing.
I am dying to do an after credit scene so that, because I know that, like, I look at the views, I know people are watching. Like when we go to the, the end thing, we're playing all the interstitials and stuff. There are people that, for whatever reason, they're still on there. They're waiting. I want to put a post credit scene in with something crazy. I don't know what. So if you guys got ideas,
one of us could be there going, "Why are you still here? Do you think you're watching a Marvel
right? Well, I
movie
thought
or
about that.
something?"
Yeah,
I thought about that.
Ferris Bueller and
Hey,
yeah, man.
why are you still here?
I also still desperately want to get a original puppet made so that I can do so that I can make fun of the fan holes that talk about stuff and do little extra bits with those
I wish
guys.
you could do the voice right off. He has to be in the mood.
I have to be in the mood. I can't just. I don't even know what the voice is.
Do we need
But,
a little Dirk? Do
It's
we
a
need
little
Dirk Muppet?
nasally.
Sometimes it just comes out of me.
It's a little nasally kind of like, I don't know. These people are
I want an actual Dirk Muppet. Okay?
We need a Dirk Muppet.
We need-
Dirk Muppet.
We actually need a little Muppet.
Go
of
buy
ourselves.
some T-shirts and stuff, folks, and I'll get me a puppet.
Buy some T-shirts.
I want to get several puppets so we could do routines.
I'm gonna go hit up Hobby Lobby, y'all.
I think that
Go
would be a
make a
blast.
Dirk Muppet.
A Dirk Muppet.
Yeah, you can
Dirk
make those
Muppet-
things, but that's got to be difficult to make those. I don't know.
The Dirk Muppet has to have the black turtleneck and it has to have the
Of course.
headphones.
Of course. Of course.
Although I've seen photos of Dirk dressed up in his Show 'Em Fine suit with the red shirt and all that. I like that look. I like that look better.
What I refer to as Dirk's pimp daddy look.
The
His
Dirk
pimp daddy look, exactly.
Pimp Dirk.
His pimp daddy look.
Took a very unfortunate left turn there.
It
All
It
right.
sure did.
You're welcome.
This is something I have never heard of before, and maybe it's been going on for a few years. Maybe I'm just behind the curve. But apparently today is First Contact Day.
Yes.
So apparently, just like May the 4th is Star Wars Day, 4/5 is First Contact Day because it was 4/5, like what, 2063 or something,
I have to live that long.
where the Vulcans came down to Earth
down to Earth,
in Star Trek. So
So that's when we'll finally get our first warp drive.
Yep.
right,
Seth from Cochrane.
I'm ready. Let's have some of that.
Let's do it. So I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
One of the things that they mentioned today, which I was very excited about, was a remastering, like a complete remastered director's cut of Star Trek, the motion picture, which apparently has new special effects in it, like throughout the thing. It has a few kind of recut and a few added scenes from the original theatrical release. And apparently it's kind of cut together with a little bit more. Apparently the guy who was the director of this thing, who was like a huge director, I had no idea. This guy was doing like big films back in the 50s and 60s. And they roped him in for Star Trek, the motion picture. He talked to one of the producers on the thing and he said, please put out like a full director's cut of this thing that's in whatever 8K and stuff, and they just did it. They announced that today. I think that's very cool. But in addition to that, here's what we're going to talk about. Paramount Plus today revealed that Patrick Stewart, Star Trek: The Next Generation, co-stars LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Jonathan Frakes, Gates McFadden, Marina Sirtis, and Brent Spiner will star alongside Stewart in Season 3 of the service's hit original series Star Trek Picard. Season 3 is the concluding chapter in the Star Trek Picard saga. Quote, I remember watching the premiere of Star Trek: The Next Generation almost 34 years ago with my father like it was yesterday. It was the spark that ignited my love for science fiction, said Terry Matalas, Season 3 showrunner and executive producer. He also said, so it's most fitting that the story of Jean-Luc Picard ends honoring the beginning with his dearest and most loyal friends from the USS Enterprise, it would be an understatement to say that giving these characters a proper send-off is an honor. The entire Star Trek Picard team and I can't wait for fans to experience this final high-stakes starship-bound adventure in Season 3, unquote.
Hey, Walt, what does it take to get you to sign on to Paramount Plus?
That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah,
I think that's
Has
pretty
anybody here
amazing.
not watched Picard yet?
I've seen the.
I watched the first season. I have not seen any of the second
I
season.
have the first season on DVD, and
So my
If
question.
you have not started the second season, you need to.
So my
When
it's
it comes
another
out-
streaming service. Damn it!
when it comes out on DVD, I will watch it.
There you go. That's what Sean says a lot. He's like, I'm ready, waiting for the Blu-ray.
Those of you who do not have Paramount Plus, hit me up later.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Unofficially, she's not saying those words out loud.
I know.
Paramount
All right, we did not. We heard that, and yet we didn't hear it, Beth.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you have it, just hit me up later. I can tell you how to get it.
So to the panel, I said, there you go. To the panel, I ask, number one, are you excited to see the gang back together? And number two, what do you think about the Picard series so far? And for that first, I will go to Beth. What do you think?
From the first episode of Picard, I fell in love with the show. Obviously, having Patrick Stewart back on the small screen has been wonderful. But what they've done with the show, bringing Brent Spiner back as Data, as a form of Data. I mean, when we lost Data in Nemesis, I was heartbroken. I know a lot of other fans were heartbroken. So bringing him back in the TV show has been wonderful. Seeing Riker and Deanna in the show has been great because Riker was always one of my favorites, and Jonathan Frakes' involvement in the entire series has been a plus as well. Yeah. What they've done with season 2, I'm sure it's no secret that Q is in season 2. By far, probably one of my all-time favorite Star Trek characters anyway, from the time, they introduced him in the very first episode of Next Generation, to the very last episode, and, he was in Voyager, which I believe, Kat, correct me if I'm wrong, where he's trying to get, Janeway to have a kid with him.
Yes.
He's just a wonderful character, and everything can go sideways when Q shows up. And the addition of that character has really kept the show fresh and alive. And yes, I'm a chew toy.
No, I'm laughing at what Walt just put up there. I'll show you in a minute.
It's I'm going to hate to see season 3 end and it be the end, but I also understand why. I get it. Patrick Stewart's getting up there in age. And, I know filming TV shows is difficult. So I'm glad that we are getting 3 seasons of Picard. I'm glad we have, 7 of 9 even on this show. So we get to see what happened with her after Voyager, and it's just a fun ride all around.
Yep. Kat and Chris, what do you think?
So, full disclosure, neither of us have actually watched Picard yet because we haven't had a chance. Because, like you said, there's too many streaming services.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I will say this is the thing that if anything was going to get me to watch it, it's absolutely this.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with TNG. I was born the same year.
You were born the year before
it came out. Yeah,
One of my first memories, the first thing I remember, like the first TV show I remember watching and actually following is TNG.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm really excited that this means that they had enough success in the show to warrant bringing back all of the actors.
Yeah.
So, just from a production perspective, that's really exciting for me because it means that they have faith that this is a story worth telling. I'm definitely with you, Ebeth, and then I'm like, I do not want to see this end because, last time Patrick Stewart was like, I'm ending a character.
Yeah.
I also do want to see that story, and I really do like that by giving it a solid 3 seasons and saying we're concluding it here, it kind of signals that we're going to see more shows. I hope take the more non-American television model of you get a few seasons, but it's like it's not
It's
you're
encapsulated.
not
It's a
wagon
full story.
training to try and make
Yeah.
it happen. You're gonna tell a story and you're gonna be done with the
That's
And
story.
kind
you're
of
done.
for on
Right.
this one. Wait
Yeah,
for them to
Babylon 5. I mean, J. Michael Straczynski
Yeah.
was one of the first ones to do it. You know, he came out with Babylon 5. He said 5 seasons. That's it. No more. And
Yeah.
that's what he did.
And the
He
only
told
reason
the entire
why-
story.
The only reason season 5 of B5 is a little bit of a mess is because he thought he was only gonna get 4 seasons, so he had to cram a bunch of stuff from
Yep.
his original 5 into 4, and then he had to make more for 5.
But he
So,
still
yeah.
closed it. He still closed it out and wrapped it up well.
He did
in 5.
absolutely, yeah. But I mean, it's nice to see that that Picard is getting the treatment that I would like to see more television get, which is I have an arc. Here's the arc I want to tell. Just let me get there, and I'll do it right the whole way through. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, something we didn't get with Farscape.
That's not-
Right.
Right, for sure. Steve, what up?
Oh. I may make some people mad. I might not. I might make myself mad by saying this. But as a child that grew up watching the original Next Generation, right? Well, that's odd saying original Next Generation. But anyway, when that ended with All Good Things, I was fine with that. I was fine with the way that they wrapped that series up. That with them, that final scene with them sitting around the poker table, spoiler alert, with them sitting around the poker table, I bawled my head off. And that was my ending for that series. Now, when they announced Generations, I was both overjoyed and pissed because I had my ending. Okay. And, obviously then they First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, it just kept grinding away in the back of my head is, yes, I'm absolutely overjoyed to see my favorite characters on television on the big screen, but it ended then. So long story short, when Picard was announced, I was absolutely overjoyed to hear that Patrick Stewart, who is one of my top 3 favorite actors of all time, was going to revisit that character. I was fine with that. I was like, all right, well, this is fine. This is going to happen, and I'm happy about it. But then they started bringing in all the characters again, and I'm like, I've already said goodbye to these people. Why are you doing this again? So I read this, and yes, I'm excited about it. I am. Don't get me wrong. And I'm going to watch it because I am that fanboy. I'm going to watch it. But I'm going to kind of have it in the back of my head of that scene, them sitting around the poker table. That's where it should have ended to me.
Right.
So, but I am looking forward to it.
That's where they get you, man.
Yeah.
I think there's something to be said though for the whole nostalgia bomb kind of thing of like, if you say goodbye to the characters and they had a definitive end, I can understand not wanting to just constantly have to revisit that. I mean, I think there's a pretty good argument that Marvel does that for a certain character or 5
For all of them.
But there's a couple that like their narrative ended the first movie they were in.
You mean you mean
I'm so sorry.
actually you should say their narrative ended the first comic that they died in.
No, that's not true because Bucky Barnes is the best.
That's true.
Go.
Yeah.
Fist bump! Fist bump!
Boom.
Oh!
That's
Anyway.
like preach, child, preach.
All right, well,
Power for those in the back, Chris.
I will be sitting in front of the TV set like, show that picture. Show that
Hang on.
picture.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah. I'm going to be sitting in front of the TV set just like that.
I want proof of that, Walt, when you do it.
I don't.
I'm going to have that remote in my hand, sitting back. Actually, not the remote. I'll just have my drink. I'll be like,
And nothing but your robe and shorts,
Wow.
I am
Yeah.
not going to eat anything for the next month. I just lost
oh yeah. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. And like I said earlier, if you want me to sign on to a streaming service, to Paramount Plus streaming service, I'll sign on long enough just to watch that season of Picard.
Right.
I mean, I understand what Steve was saying about, that was
I do too.
and everything. I totally get it, because for me, at the time when TNG first started, and if mom, if you're still watching, Mom will attest to this. That was my freshman year in college, and I would come home on the weekends just so that I would be able to watch Star Trek Next Generation before going back to campus Sunday evening. So it was like every Sunday evening at 10:30. So I was getting back to campus around 11:30 midnight, or actually midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. So yeah, it was must see television, which it's kind of hard. You can't do that anymore. Where there's they're like with streaming services, you can watch it whenever you want. You don't have to be at home at a certain time to catch your favorite show. Whereas then it was like it came on at this time. If you weren't home, you missed it. If you didn't know how to set your VCR, tough luck.
If you had a VCR,
your mom's still watching. Your mom's still watching.
And yeah, Mom can attest to that, because there was a snowstorm. I had to drive back to, or actually, I can't say I had to drive back, because we weren't allowed to have vehicles. Freshmen weren't allowed to have cars on campus, which is the dumbest thing in the freaking world.
That was my college too.
Well, let me say, so from September 28th, 1987, when that show debuted, until May 23rd of 1994. That was my show. That was every time that show came on, I was glued to that television. I remember to this day, I remember exactly where I was, where I watched it, how I watched the first episode of that show, and the first time I ever saw the D roll across that screen, I was hooked. I was in. I'm all in on this show. And then when they announced the final season, and et cetera, we were in art school. It was 3 years after art school. But anyway, when they announced that final episode was going to happen, I girded myself and I said, all right, this is going to be the greatest TNG episode ever created. And in my book, it still is. But that's where it ended. And I'll watch this and I'll have fun with it, but it ain't ever going to be that.
I think having a final chapter of certain characters, like I have a feeling this is going to be the final, like you said, this is the final chapter of Picard. Don't know how it's going to end, but I think instead of like what we got from like the last 3 episodes or the last 3 movies of Star Wars, this is a safe way to keep. This could be the way to keep that fiasco from happening.
Oh God!
Well, it could also be a way of saving the series, because after TNG ended, after All Good Things, of course, like I said, you had Generations, you had First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, that were all
was on a steadily decline.
They were all terrible, and so after that, there is that way of looking at it, and that Picard is the way to reel all that back in.
Because First Contact for me is, as far as the Next Generation movies, is still the best one.
I would agree. That's my favorite one. Yeah.
Which one? I'm sorry.
First
Contact. First Contact.
Really?
The Borg. With the Borg.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have reasons for liking Nemesis. Tom Hardy.
Go watch Mad Max 3 times for that. It's fine.
What?
Go watch Mad Max Fury Road if you want to watch good Tom Hardy.
No joke.
Nemesis.
Watch Legend if you want to watch good Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Nemesis. Nemesis needed a follow-up, a good follow-up,
and it never got it.
And it never got a good follow-up. It never got, because after Nemesis, I was like, this has potential, and they never followed it up. They still haven't followed that up. So.
Dirk, how about you, sir? Now that we've all wandered up and down the road here.
I don't know how much I could go on and on about the Next Generation. The reason why I have a bald head is partially due to Captain Picard. No kidding.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
He, him and he was doing Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Bruce Willis was doing 12 Monkeys. And I thought, man, bald is when you're in the future. When you're from the future, you're bald. So maybe I ought to do that. That it was also Sean. Sean suggested that I shave my head. So it's also his fault. But anyway, I loved The Next Generation. That was also my show. I can remember getting together with groups of friends, like having, like particularly when the summer break with Picard turning into Locutus, and leaving us on a damn cliffhanger, and then getting together with a room full of friends to watch, what the heck was going to happen there. That was one of the best moments in television, one of the best moments of getting together with friends and doing stuff. No offense to Gene Roddenberry, but man, that series got a lot better when Gene Roddenberry passed, and they finally started, allowing these characters to, have issues, and, it wasn't such a utopia. And, they greatly improved that series. About the third or fourth season, it just started firing on, all cylinders. And I do sincerely love that show. Since then, we've had the Abrams universe. We've had multiple television series and all kinds of stuff. But every time they were announced, they did Enterprise, which, it's like, oh, we're going to go all the way back to before, Kirk or whatever, and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, why is it that we have had all these series and we never figure out what happens after Voyager? Why are we not getting into that area? That's new material. Let's get into that. We're getting that with Picard. And I mean, at least in the first season, we got 7 and 9. She is such an awesome character that what's his name, Elsinore or whatever, Elnor. What is his name? Anyone?
The pilot, you mean?
No, the Romulan.
His name is Elnor.
Elnor, yeah.
Elnor.
Thank you. Elnor is an awesome character. It's like I'd like for him to have his own series alone. All of the characters on that show, the guy, the Rios guy is spectacular. All of these characters in that thing, in addition to the fact that you're getting stories after the fact, is wonderful. I love to see, and by the way, at least in the first season, it was really well done. The writing on it, the character arc, what they're dealing with, the purpose of the episodes, exceptionally well done. Very much a 2020 style show where it's one, it's one plot line in this thing. It's very modern. It's very mature. Really excellent take on all of these characters. In some cases, the best take on all of these characters ever. Here's the issue. I haven't seen this season. Here's the thing. I don't want them to push out these new characters in favor of the old characters as much as I want to see the old characters. I want to see them. Some of the best moments of the first season was when, like, Picard went to see Riker and
his family.
Yeah, went to see that family and hung out with them, and we got to see like the family dynamic there, which we never really got any other way. It allowed you to kind of explore that sort of thing. We got to see. I think at a certain point you got to stick a fork in Data and let him be done. I mean, how many? I realized that with science fiction and multiple universes and him being a robot and stuff, that you could literally bring him back 400 million times. But at a certain point, you got to let that character rest. I think that, hopefully they will do that. And I also realized that Patrick Stewart isn't getting any younger. So at a certain point, you have to also tell the final story on that character before you get into a deal like Generations, where you have to make up some stupid crap and it becomes a poor ending for great characters. To Steve's point, it would be nice to, give them a soft landing and, wrap up that at least that area of the universe.
Yeah.
Let those characters go and hand it over to these new characters, because these new characters are amazing. I love the new characters. Let's have some more of them.
Let's give them their own show.
Let's give them if that's the way, if we're going to say this is the last season of Star Trek Picard, then let's do the next season of, the rest of the crew, please.
The next story.
Yeah, let's move it on.
Yeah,
The next generation.
Right.
The next generation. Oh my gosh.
I feel so carbon dated now, by the way, because like Voyager, I was a wee bairn when TNG came out. I mean, I grew up with TNG. It's not like I didn't grow up with TNG and DS9, but Voyager was my knock people over the couch to get to the show.
And you did.
From what I hear, you need to watch Prodigy, because that has Kate Mulgrew.
Yeah.
Yes. I've been watching.
Really?
I definitely want to watch it. I
As Janeway?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
She's an ECH. She's an emergency command hologram teaching the kids how to.
That is awesome. I don't understand why we don't get more Captain Jane. She
I'm glad they got her to come back.
She kicked the ass of the Borg.
Yeah.
Yes.
When TNG ended in 1994, obviously Voyager picked right back up in 1994. So you had one story end and another begin. The only difference was that it wasn't TNG. It was a whole new cast of crew, a brand new ship that was amazing. When I saw that intro and those nacelles went shoog, I said, "Oh,
hello,
I'm in." Right? So absolutely, and anything that has to do with Janeway and that gang, I will absolutely watch all that.
The relaunch books were really good, but that they did about them coming back from the Alpha Quadrant, but they take a while to get good. I don't know. They started like they kind of went weird in one direction, and they came back, and it was because there were larger things happening in the relaunch universe that they were forced to tie things into. But I would love to see more of them live action for sure. And if not that, I agree with you, Dirk. Like I want more of the world after the events.
No, let's keep going.
I want the world after the events of the destruction of Romulus that starts the Kelvinverse. Like I want more of events after we know Spock goes back. So for sure. I
even want more of what happened after DS9.
Yeah.
What happened?
Absolutely.
Because Cisco's son, wanted to be he wanted to be a reporter, and that in itself right there could be the
awesome show concept.
The basis of the story right there.
It's just Jake Sisko running around the galaxy
as a journalist in the 24th century.
Paramount. Hey,
so pretty good.
Write it.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
And it doesn't have to be an ongoing series. It could be like how Marvel does these little 8-part little things. That's fine. Because can you imagine trying to do 13, 26 episodes of this one guy I can't see that, but I could see maybe 4 to 8 episodes. And not even consistently. Like you could say, oh, here's this Jake Sisko series that's coming out. It could be like a one-shot series, or it could be like, oh, hey, we got a surprise for you. 2 years later, we decided to do another Jake Sisko story.
Yeah.
Well, do like Caprica. Caprica was like that. Just a really limited series that brought in all kinds of characters that you'd never heard of in your life. Do that with just Jake Sisko, make him the focus, and then build a world around it. And just a little,
Because one of the things also in that was it could be him trying to find out if his father is still around.
Ooh,
that would be a really there's so much to unpack after DS9 and Voyager ended. Like I would love to see them. Like I'm glad that Picard's been so popular, because I know it's reinvigorated interest in everything post that time frame, but I do want to see them go outside of the world of the TNG cast. Like that was part of the problem that I had with Enterprise, was Enterprise had nothing to do with that, and then all of a sudden every character that was showing up was a TNG character that they were clearly bringing in to reinvigorate interest. And while they did some really cool things with that, I know Robert Duncan McNeil is a director and a producer, but I would love to know whether or not B'Elanna and Tom's daughter was in fact the Klingon Messiah. It's kind of a big deal.
Right. Right.
I will say one thing though. This Strange New Worlds looks really good.
It looks so good.
It
looks so good.
So that's a deal where they're going back in time, but they're also they're going back to the encapsulated episodes. So they're really trying to kind of bring back that whole spirit. And again, the cast they have for that is
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like they're the original timeline. They're not the Kelvin verse, so now we're gonna have two versions of those things running around.
I love.
That's fine.
I love Captain Pike, and then fell in love with the guy who's playing Spock. He's also excellent. And now they filled in some of the other people. They're going to have like a daughter of Khan, who's going to be on the bridge.
That's going to be freaking cool.
How insane!
I'm looking forward to that.
How insanely cool is that?
Yeah.
Are we? Let me ask a random question. I don't mean to interrupt you, Dirk. Did I interrupt you?
No, go ahead, man.
Because I'm rude as hell. Sorry about that.
We all know that rude boy.
I know, man. I'm sorry. Are we teetering maybe on series burnout? The only reason I ask that is because with Star Wars, for the longest time, when Rogue One came out and then Solo, and then all the plans for all the other shows that were put on, kind of paused a little bit and given a little time to breathe. Now it seems like that might kind of be redeveloping in the Star Trek universe, in that we're being bombarded with a ton of shows. Don't get me wrong, I think I'm okay with that, but I don't want to hear everybody start dogpiling on it and say this is just too much. It's too much. I mean, because when Voyager and DS9 kind of overlapped a little bit, it got to be a little much.
But the nice thing about that was, if you liked the political intrigue and the long-form stories, you watched DS9.
Right.
If you liked the weird Planet of the Week, you watched Voyager.
Right.
I don't think of it as the same thing as Star Trek or Star Wars, because Star Wars is a linear story, and they've only now started telling like snippets out of portions of the galaxy.
Fair enough. Right. Good point.
Whereas with Star Trek, it's a little bit more like comic books, where you have the one, I like the TNG cast, so I'm going to watch TNG and
Avengers, X-Men.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like that. And so if maybe Strange New Worlds isn't the show for you, maybe Discovery was,
maybe Lower Decks
is your type of jam, because you're in for the comedy. But maybe you don't. Maybe if you want something a little bit more serious, you go for the one that's got Janeway as the animated.
Well, and Prodigy's built for kids, so not like kids, but it's definitely for a younger audience. I think
So I kind of think of it like that: of they're building a larger Star Trek universe that has a little bit of something for everyone. You're going to have the hardcore people that are watching every single show, and maybe those people will start to feel a little burned out. As somebody who has read comic books, my whole life. Yeah, if you try to read every book series, you're gonna get burned out.
You're gonna get burned out.
Yeah. But otherwise, if you can pick up a Star Trek show and go, oh, this one isn't for me, that's cool, because there's 3 other Star Trek shows.
I mean, I've literally been sitting here waiting for Star Trek 4 because I love the Kelvin verse, and I'm like, I would love to watch Strange New Worlds, but I'm not ready to watch anything in that time frame that isn't the Kelvin verse.
Yeah, like I love,
because I just want Star Trek 4 so badly.
I didn't really like.
We all
Enterprise. Do. I didn't really like Enterprise all that much, so I was like, well, I guess there's no Star Trek for me for a while.
And see, I'm only now watching DS9. Okay, I couldn't get into it when it first came out. I tried for years to watch it. It's only been within the last 10 years that I actually have been able to sit down and watch Voyager. And out of what I refer to as the 4 original shows, the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, for me, Voyager is still the premiere of the 4 shows. It is my favorite.
I am so vindicated after
We're
years.
Vindicated. Deep Space Nine, the episodes of Deep Space Nine that I like are the ones that do not deal with the whole Bajor and Cardassia political situation. I zone out on those episodes.
The thing is, They did
See,
something
those are the ones that riveted me.
Yeah,
Me too.
they did something
Me too.
totally different with DS9 that they had never done in Star Trek before.
And don't get me wrong.
Some
Don't get me
people loved it, and some people did not. Like I was too young.
I just want to go shooty bang bang with
Yeah.
Captain Proton. Bye.
I
Right,
my problem with that
Right.
storyline on Deep Space Nine, and I understand that this was supposed to be a really bad war, and this, you know, and I'm familiar with Nana Visitor from the soap operas. She approached Kira Nerys like she was still in the soap opera, and her performance to me was always over the top, especially in those scenes with you know, when it dealt with Bajor and Cardassia and everything, and it grates on my nerves. I love Cisco.
Cisco was the shit.
I love Quark. Oh my God, Quark is by far my favorite character, and I love the relationship with Bashir and Cardassian. Cat, help me out. Garrick.
Garrick.
Because you never know what Garrick's going to do or what he's going to pull out of the hat. But you know, those individual episodes I love. But when they start talking about Bajor and the war and just the vitriol behind Kira's character, it comes off as forced to me, and I have to watch Deep Space Nine sparingly, an episode or two at a time, and then I'm moving on. Like Dan has restarted Voyager, and I hear Voyager, I go and I just sit down and watch it with him. I don't care where I am in the series. I'm just like,
why,
hey, Voyager.
I don't think there's going to be burnout the same way there is with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my vote in.
coming out-
Voyager is the coolest show opening of them all.
Yes. Oh, and the theme is so good.
I love
It
the
is.
theme. I love the theme from
Every
DS9 too.
Yeah.
You want me to tell you what turned me off from Star Trek Enterprise? Is when they the opening theme song. I loved the first season, the opening theme song, how it was soft and somber, and then the next season they turned it into a country tune. I was like, nope, I'm done. I was like, no, it was better. It was better the first season. It didn't need to be a country tune.
Do
I'm
not
sorry.
Positive that
pull
country
some
music kills
Firefly
everything.
stuff on
And that's
us.
exactly
Yeah.
what that was. Yeah.
Do not
Yeah.
try to emulate Firefly.
No, that you're right. That's exactly what they tried to do. And for me, that was the start of the ruination of Enterprise for me. I was like, really? You countryfied this song? Don't get me wrong. There is some country music I like, but don't take a song I already like and then turn it into a country tune.
Well, and especially
Oh my God, I love it when Walt
prior to
gets on his
that-
soapbox.
Prior to that, everything was these beautiful orchestral pieces. Like I had a CD back in the day that was like the major orchestral suites from every Star Trek series. So it was like
I'm pretty
there
sure I
was,
still have it.
yeah, right, yeah, like it had all the themes, and then it had like, you know, it had the Glass Menagerie, not Glass Menagerie.
Glass Menagerie. That's
Glass
it.
I think that's
Menagerie.
the one that I had on that album. Yeah, there were a couple. I think there were 2 episodes from Star Trek, and then there was like 2 from TNG. Like All Good Things had its suite was in there. I think the suite from the first Borg episode was in there. Like, I mean, such awesome orchestration, because I love scores and stuff, and I'm just so bummed that the Enterprise like did not have a great, awesome orchestral theme.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah,
Horrible.
for me, it was like whoa, that's a punch in the gut. That's different.
Yeah, Dan and I would just skip that opening.
Well,
And as far as burn goes, I would have said yes prior to Picard and prior to what I am seeing for Strange New Worlds, because while I enjoy Discovery and I enjoy what they're doing with Discovery, there are things about Discovery that also make it feel stale. And I think a lot of it has to do. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with we've seen these stories before. How many times are you going to repeat these stories? Now, with that being said,
How many times are we going to do time travel again?
yes. With that being said, if Q is involved in an episode or if there are tribbles involved, I don't care which series it is, I will watch it. Because one of my favorite episodes of Enterprise is the one with the trouble with tribbles.
have you seen the short takes?
Yes.
That one with the tribbles?
The tribble one is hysterical.
Oh my goodness. I laughed my ass off on that one.
I am very much looking forward to Strange New Worlds.
Oh, and as far as music and scores, the Kelvin movies.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I will say this, go listen to the Star Trek 2009 theme, and then go listen to the Doctor Strange theme, and you can tell it's the same composer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
like the Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
The point where we were sitting there in the theater, and I was like, "That's the Kelvinverse theme. Like that's the Enterprise's
Yeah.
theme."
That's the thing with John Williams. You can always tell a John Williams tune because you can always hear it.
And Gino's the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cool things we've ever gotten to do was we got to sing in the choir for an orchestra that was performing the Star Trek 2009 theme.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Some of the highest
cool.
notes I've ever had to sing.
And
notes.
I'm a first soprano, so all of those ridiculous.
Yeah, we were like,
Ah.
hydrate, let's go.
Yeah, those Kelvin verse score. Man, I have a Spotify playlist that's nothing but movie scores.
Yeah.
And when that one comes on, I crank it all the way up.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Still my favorite part of
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That is one of the scores that is on permanent download on my phone for when I travel. You know, that and the scores for Transformers. Those are the two that are in permanent download because if I'm on an airplane, man, I'll just throw the headphones on and I'm on Star Trek, so I'm good.
As cheesy as the scene as it was, the scene in Beyond when the Beastie Boys broke in with Sabotage when they were protecting. That was a super stupidly cheesy scene, but it was so cool.
Yeah, it was the most like TOS type cheese ever, and it was perfect.
Oh yeah, and when you see, oh my gosh, oh no.
It's okay, Steve.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. When
Chris Pine?
Sulu, John
Cho.
Thank you. When you see him sitting there at the helm going like this,
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
For me, it was like, oh, Captain Kirk's a Beastie Boys fan. All right.
I like the revisitation from the first movie.
I have opinions about the Kelvinverse, and they're all good opinions. They're strong opinions, I will say.
Very strong opinion.
But I will say this: Chris Pine.
Another show.
And William Shatner. But I'm going to leave it there. That's my controversial hot take today.
So great.
You're a Pinehead, okay? Just admit it. You're a Pinehead.
No, that actually has nothing to do with him. I think he's a better Kirk than how William Shatner was ever had a chance to
William Shatner has said that Pine is a better Kirk.
Yeah. William Shatner, I take that as a badge of honor, but that's the point. I'm not really sure how that happened.
I really like Chris Pine as Kirk too, because I was like, he's got the mannerisms down. I'm sorry.
I think one of the best homages to Spock were the commercials that Zachary Quinto and Leonard Nimoy did
together.
Those
racing in the car.
Yeah, the dueling Spock
Those
stuff
were cool.
was fantastic because Leonard Nimoy had so much respect for Quinto, you know, and
Quinto nailed it.
Quinto nailed it. He did. He is a phenomenal Spock, and I have to give Ethan Peck some credit too, the one who's playing Spock in Strange New Worlds and Discovery, because you can tell that he has studied both Quinto.
I really like his take on Spock.
I like his take too. I love his bit in the Paramount Plus commercials.
Yes.
It's that again or whatever. Every time I see that, I start laughing because it's like that's so Spock.
I can only imagine that DeForest Kelley would have been praising Carl Urban for his take on Bones.
Oh yeah.
I was never a Bones fan. Anybody who knows me knows that I am a diehard Spock fan. But when it comes to the Kelvinverse, oh yeah, Bones has my heart all the way.
Urban was amazing.
I've always been a Bones fan, both in the original, and then Carl Urban comes out and does it, and I'm like, nailed it.
Yeah. I think that's part of what makes Beyond my favorite of the three movies. Is it is the one that feels the most like an adaptation of the kind of story that the original cast would have done.
Yes.
But with all of the
They
new
finally
cast just nailing it 100% of the time.
They finally got the chemistry right by the third movie, where they were playing those characters,
right,
and they were giving them the lines and situations which allowed them to be correct. It did work better than
make another movie.
Right, and then they're done. Thank you.
Right.
What is it? Is it the second movie?
I know they announced it. I know J.J. Abrams is coming back for 4, but at the same time, I'm also like, you should have let Simon Pegg write 4, you jerks. Because
I know, right? No joke. Is it 2, Cat, where we see Kirk and Bones running and they wind up having to, dive
Yeah.
into the wall? Yeah.
Yeah. It's two.
Out of the Kelvin universe movies, that scene is my favorite.
That's beyond it.
No, he's talking about the beginning where they're at the
running
volcano and they're all running the volcano
Yeah.
at the beginning of Into Darkness.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. His command. Yeah.
I think what we've learned from this is that I should talk about Star Trek more often.
Yes. Yeah.
I got a lot of great reactions here, guys. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on to the.
Shut up.
We are going to move on to the next subject.
Long segue.
And here it comes. If I can find it, where the heck is it? Here we go. All right, let me get a couple of things out here. Brian James says, Mr. Hooper, your gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. Where the shit do you get this stuff?
I don't know where he gets that shit, man, but his
Art of War Sun
those are fantastic. Between him and Gigi, that's pretty genius.
Yeah.
Almost a haiku.
Almost.
like it.
And then asks, where's the Big Dirk Energy line of merch?
Put up my reply.
Steve says that they're chewing on that. So there you go.
And we are.
I'd buy it. I'd buy it. Heck yeah.
Big Dirk Energy. I think
Energy.
we're going to have a series of those. So Steve, when you get that Big Dirk Energy logo made, we'll get started.
Do you have what you need for that, Steve? I meant to follow up with you and I got busy.
I actually am missing one element, but we'll talk about that.
All right, fair enough.
Offline, because that's the only thing I need, and then we can have that on by the middle of this week.
Hey, we're on Blast. On Blast is where we talk about things that we saw or we watched or we read or played over the last few. Just something that you want to talk about that you enjoy and you want other people to enjoy as well. And on that first, I'm going to go to Beth.
What?
Just Beth.
Yes, it's just Beth, the smallest member of the Taskforce Geek podcast crew.
Right.
Is currently
sacked out.
I was going to say, where'd Darren Stein go?
Darren Stein is on the bed, out like a light. He is completely crashed. Thank you guys for helping me get him to bed tonight without a total meltdown.
Anytime.
Yay. What have I been consuming? Obviously Picard, catching up on Picard, catching up on Discovery. Other than that, really, I'm kind of revisiting some older stuff with Richard Armitage because I'm gearing up to actually finally bang out the entire manuscript for Gisborne. Sorry, Kat. The Armitage woke up in my head. I can't.
Right, Dimitri will get his book eventually.
Dimitri's next. I just got to wake up the Sebastian Stan music.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Other than that, just trying to prep for a book signing that I have this weekend, which I'll talk about more later. But I did add to my ever-growing pop collection a new one.
Oh.
Which made my husband moan and roll his eyes, but I'm like, and it is Luke.
Ooh.
Grogu.
Oh, with a Grogu. That's cool.
Grogu.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love my Grogu. My husband can go off. Yeah, that's
Wow.
he is the newest addition to the collection. That, and I've been revisiting Scooby-Doo because the smallest member of the crew.
Sure.
He gets an hour of screen time a day. One day it's Baby Einstein's, one day it's Scooby-Doo. I alternate.
Now, are you going classic Scooby-Doo, or are you going like 90s Scooby-Doo? Where are you?
Oh no, classic 60s Scooby-Doo. What we all grew up
Now,
on.
have you started on Scooby-Doo in the movies? because that's the best Scooby-Doo series.
Not yet, but we will get there.
Okay.
Because
Is it
my
though?
mom owns
Is it
those-
though?
You
Okay.
that's what the Batman and Robin time.
Okay.
That's where Fat Milk and
And-
Fat Cookies come from.
I have three different
Oh
versions.
my
of Scooby-Doo.
lord!
I have
Here
my
we go.
favorite versions of Scooby-Doo.
Hold on.
But I'll
Let
get
me
to that
the
later.
seatbelt.
I'll get to that.
All right.
We'll get to that later.
The funny thing is that Caitlin has most of the Scooby-Doo movies and she has them on DVD or Blu-ray. And of course, to this day, her favorite is still Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
It's the
It
best.
should be.
It was really formative for me.
It's
It
pretty
took
good.
me forever to find Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, that one's good too.
I
That
love
was
that's
good.
one of my favorites. And there was one other one. It was a more recent one. It was the one where they meet the alien chick and her alien dog.
Oh
that,
yeah. I know
falls in love with. Yeah.
that one. That one had some really good animation in it.
Well,
The
what's funny
Scooby-Doo-
is when I first got that one for her when she was little, and we sat down and watched it. I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the voices, and I'm going,
I know. Yeah.
and I'm going, I gotta look. And she, I let the credits roll, and I was like, son of a gun, that is. And so I started looking, and almost every single Scooby-Doo movie, Mark Hamill has done the voice of
Oh, dude.
bad guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of the good guys, the bad guy.
Yep.
And I've gotten to the point where I can pick out Mark's voice like this in the Scooby-Doo shows. So we are passing on the tradition of Scooby watching to the youngster. I am trying to bring this child upright. There will be no Coco Melon in this house.
Amen.
There will be no
Amen.
Barney in this house.
Although I do recommend, not for the kids, but for the adult parties, showing some booba.
For the adult
Wait,
parties,
what?
yes.
It's a kid show called Booba, but if people are partaking in
Adult substances.
adult substances, put on Booba and you will have a fun time watching
Wow.
people on adult sauce.
Teletubbies was a lot like that too.
It's better than Teletubbies.
All right.
Teletubbies was never like that.
No, there's no Teletubbies in this house. There's no Barney in this house, and
Yeah.
there is no Elmo in this house.
Walt can verify that I used to drive an old '84 Cutlass. It was brown as the day is long, but I had a Barney doll that I ripped the head off of and put it on the hood ornament of my Cutlass and drove around Dallas with that on it.
He did.
When he is old enough, when he's a little older, I will impart upon him the joy that is the Power Rangers and Transformers.
Okay. All right.
Original Power Rangers too. I know Kat and Walt will approve of that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for On Blast. Just watching him and working has been a joy for me. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Steve.
and he's the worst, as you can see. He's the worst coworker.
Right.
He's always screaming and always throwing a fit.
I'm
And then
fairly
when
certain
it's
it's against HR policy to make you his
Yeah,
shoot
we should
boy.
put in an HR complaint.
Yeah, I really do need to put an HR complaint in about this one.
And then when it's time for him to work, he goes to sleep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's horrible.
All right, Steve, you're up, man.
Oh no, don't! Oh, you did. Dang it! All right.
Yeah. Yes, you.
Did you buy two of those?
Hey, he's got the shirt.
Did
First
you
the
get
shirt.
two of those battleships
Eh?
from
Yamato.
Star Blazers? The Yamato?
Yamato? Did I get
Did you
two
buy
of
two
them?
of those?
Oh, that video that I posted. To me?
Yes.
Oh no! The one that shot water out of the turrets. No.
Yeah.
Yes. It
I think that was
actually
just a one-off. I don't
goes
think that you
through
can buy
the
that as a
water
kit.
and fires water out of the cannons.
It
You
was
were
pretty
tempted.
stinking cool.
You
Oh
were
my
tempted.
gosh.
I was impressed that he actually had propulsion built into the thing, but the thing that really would have impressed me is if he had figured out how to fire water out of the wave motion.
I thought that was coming next, honestly.
Yeah, because the turrets they weren't kind of working very well because the second he fired water out of it, the ship just went like this.
It
Right.
listed. It listed. I thought that was cool that it
But
listed.
you know what?
when
He did that in the show sometimes.
It did.
Yeah.
Not quite that violently, but yeah, it did. So this week has been a Macross week for me.
Uh-oh.
Actually, over the weekend was when it wasn't WrestleMania. It was obviously Macross. Walt will tell you that I am as in tune to Macross more than anything else in this universe between that and Speed Racer.
Look at that big Destroid back there. Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's my first pickup,
Oh my gosh.
and that is the.
Is that thing heavy? It looks
Yeah,
heavy.
it's literally Bandai's High Metal R line. It's the HWR00 monster from the original Macross series as well as Macross 7. Made a couple of OVAs here and there, but yeah.
It is super cool.
That is one of the baddest of the bad from that show.
They need that in Ukraine.
This was my god,
hell yeah.
Somebody needs to create this pronto. But yeah, that is by far the biggest thing I got. And then of course the little guys count too.
Wow.
Nice. There's the little
You get
figures.
such neat toys. Oh,
And the
that's
VS
cool.
the VS1
Hey,
or the
special.
VF1S. That's the 35th. That's the 35th anniversary version.
Wow.
It's got the color scheme from Messer's Valkyrie in Delta. So
I know
that-
Cross has some of the best scoring and music I've ever heard.
absolutely agree.
It does. One of the best sung to you is still one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely agree. And Walt, you'll be
Let me-
interested. A few weeks ago.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Sorry,
Jesse
sorry.
says he's been watching.
Hey, Dad.
And he says, as always, good show.
What's up, Papa?
Thank you.
The LPs, the Yamato LPs that I picked up from a guy in Japan not too long ago, he's
Yes.
actually found some Macross soundtracks for me
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
original Japanese packaging as well. So I'll be showing those off here before too long.
Nice.
But I also picked up this little dude.
Put it that. Oh, that's is that like? Is
It's
that
Roy.
like
It's Roy
die-cast metal?
Folker's VF1. Yeah, that's all it is. Just a little itty bitty Batroid.
Batroid or Batloid,
figure
as
of
we
Roy
call them
of Roy
here.
Folker's
Wow.
battle. Oh, and then the new issue of Cartoons Magazine.
Nice.
But that's me, man.
All right. Kat and Chris, you're up. You're on blast.
Double trouble.
Okay. Do you want to go first? 'Cause
I can
know
go
you
first.
have one you're excited about.
So I have one. So I am a massive DC Comics fan, and I've been a Batman comic reader since the early '90s. And the first character with DC that I was really big fans of is Tim Drake, Robin. And lately, DC has partnered with Webtoon, the online webcomic service, to put out a new comic every week called Batman Wayne Family Adventures. And it is the most adorable slice of life little comic with just, it's really lo-fi here. I'm showing my phone. They've got 32 issues out now.
Wow.
And the
Holy moly.
artwork for this is just
Oh, it's good.
Oh, wow. It is
beautiful.
good artwork. And it's all, slice of life stuff with the Bat family. And it give every character, there's more character development for these characters in this little webtoon comic than there was in like 10 years of actual DC comics. And I just recommend it to literally anybody who is a fan of the Bat family. Not just like, it's really frustrating to be a Batman fan when you like the Batman family and not just Batman,
Right.
because everything is it's just the same Batman origin story and the same like 3 villains, and maybe Catwoman will show up. And Alfred will be there, but it's the same dynamic with Batman all the time. There's never any good Robins. There's never a good Batgirl. There's never any of the other characters. They're like really important in the comics that like make Batman Batman. So I just really recommend that comic, especially if you want to learn who the Bat family are. Just a fantastic.
It's given me an appreciation for Stephanie.
Yeah.
I really like her before now.
Spoiler is like a really
she's
great character,
really good.
but if you didn't read a lot of 90s comics, you're not going to know that.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you have to pay like tokens or something to get those?
They have 5, like the 32 that are out now are free.
Wow.
Then
Really?
Yeah, and then every Thursday at midnight they put out another one, but they have the next 5 available for tokens.
Okay.
And the tokens are really cheap. It's like 99 cents a token.
I mean, that's
way cheaper than buying a comic.
It's way cheaper
Seriously,
than buying
yeah.
a comic, and it's better than a lot of comics. And I read a lot of comics, so there's more. Like I said, there's more character development for the Bat family in this one little webtoon.
I'm
than
intrigued.
Was in the whole 20 years of comics that I've been collecting.
Yeah.
So, really recommend.
Yeah, it's to the point where you shove it at me.
Yeah,
I
I
read it. I'm
at 10:30 at night when I know it's gonna refresh on a Wednesday. I'm sitting there hitting refresh, and as soon as I get it, I'm pay the money, read it. Your cat, read it.
Every week.
Yeah, webtoon Batman Wayne Family Adventures.
Cool.
Real recommended.
Very cool.
I will check that out.
I see my cat has my my analytics spreadsheet for movie viewing.
Yeah,
so.
because we watch a lot of movies.
We go see a lot of movies with the AMC Movie Pass.
Oh, yes.
And I have a little spreadsheet for calculating what ones we liked and how much we spent going to the movies versus how much we would have spent if we hadn't had the Movie Pass.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I was double checking to make sure I remembered which movies we had seen. So first of all, I had talked about Uncharted last time I was on the show, and then we went and saw it again. So last week and kind of the week before that, I spent replaying all of the games. I'm now all the way up to Lost Legacy. I've got to replay that one. So I'm a huge fan. So yeah.
It's like maybe the Assassin's Creed games. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome. If I had a PS5, I would probably buy the remastered collection. That's all of them. But I still have a PS4 Pro, which is amazing because I had never played them in HD. So I did that. And so that was a lot of what I did. I'm looking forward to getting back into Lost Legacy. I am such a huge fan of Sam Drake that Thief's End has quickly become one of my favorite games. So I enjoyed playing 4 way more than I think I did the first time around. And I really loved it then too.
Yeah.
But then we also went and saw a fantastic movie. If you have not seen The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, take the time to go see it. My father-in-law laughed harder than I think I've ever heard him laugh in a film ever. It is hysterical. It is beginning to end a romp. It is fantastic. It both pays homage to fans of romance novels while also poking fun at them in a way that fans of romance novels know. It felt it's punchy. It's that whole thing of I'm making the joke at my expense. I'm allowed to make it kind of thing. And Sandra Bullock, as usual, is one of the best physical comedic actresses I've ever seen in a film.
Channing Tatum was so funny in this movie. So funny.
So that movie has lived in my brain rent free for a week now. So
we keep looking at each other going, go to sleep.
Yeah. So I highly recommend that. And then I guess the last thing I'll talk about is because I have a book right now. So I am also I've just recently started a book called If Walls Could Talk. And I actually got this at the Jamestown historical site, the one that's privately run, not the actual state park. And it is a fantastic book written about the evolution of the modern home. So going all the way back to ancient times of how we started out in, having, outdoor gardens and how outdoor kitchens, and then how eventually things evolved into the modern house that we think of today. And the author goes through and discusses the changes to the people's lives, domestically, what happened in the bedroom traditionally, and how have things changed, what was considered taboo that isn't considered taboo now. And it's been a really fun, interesting look. And if you're interested in anything about domestic life and that slice of life kind of aspect of things, I highly recommend it. I'm using it sort of to kind of give myself a little bit of inspiration for Last of the Peacekeepers, because I'm trying to think of how as another 100 years go by, what does living on a colony look like, and how does that change? I'm trying to use a little more historical basis instead of the sci-fi, well, we know that things are hard, so it's hard on a colony. I'm that's great. That's fantastic. Can we be more specific? So that's what I got.
Cool. Those are awesome. All right, Walt, you're up.
There hasn't been really much that I've been doing. The first I want to start off with, I've watched the first episode of The Guardians of Justice on Netflix, which Dirk, I'm sharing that on the screen there for you if you want to flip over to that.
Ooh.
and it's on Netflix. It's it's mature viewing. The one thing that caught me on this is this right here. It
Oh my
stars
gosh.
Dallas Diamond Page as the Batman X
DP.
Oh my
character,
god.
Wow.
DDP. And
Wow.
the reason why I started watching this is the story takes place in the 1980s. It's done very low budget and intentionally. There's a lot of 80s style graphics and everything and 80s style special effects. And I was hooked. I was like, okay, I'm not going to binge watch this. I'm going to watch the first episode and then I'm going to come back next week and watch the second episode. So this week I have to watch the second episode. But this whole story is about there's a Superman type hero who is basically he's depressed about he hears everybody's cries and everything, and he offs himself on live TV.
Oh,
So and it goes from there. So there's a at the end of the first episode, like crime starts, increasing and everything, and there's all these little crazy things on the at the end credits. Like there's this alleyway and all these people are dead, and like they've all died horrific deaths, and the police are there, and these two cops are just nonchalantly talking about life in general and going, "Oh, look at that guy right there. Oh, that looked like it really hurt," kind of thing. So it's kind of there's a little comedy in there, dark comedy. There's a little seriousness in there, and very bad special effects and some anime. There's some animated cutscenes that tell some of the backstories of the characters and everything. And I was hooked. It's just like my type of thing. So if you're into like say for instance the elusive story that we talked about last week, it's along those lines.
oh, I'm in then.
Also, I've been doing a little drawing here and there. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've been doing these little sketches. If I can get this to focus.
There it is.
Oh,
So,
cool.
There we go.
Yay!
Like this is the last one I did. I got inspired. I've been doing these in between jobs at work. We have here's our Casey Jane, Little Miss Fury.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. I can tell it's her.
And then this is a local DJ that I'm friends with. It goes by Dallas, DJ Dallas Scratch. If you like old school R&B mixed in like large portions of dance, to dance music to, whatever, look him up on Facebook.
Dude, yeah,
good.
he's awesome.
I like these illustrations.
Yeah, there's that, and then I got these two. A friend of mine and her son.
Nice.
I did them as anime characters.
Yeah.
So that's
Very
what
cool, man.
that's what I've been doing. I've been taking my free time to do some little sketches like that, and that's about it. Just watching TV.
Keeping loose.
Keeping loose.
It's important.
It's very important.
Very important. All right.
It's very important.
Friday night, I went to see Morbius with the Friday night crew out there. I think that maybe it benefited a little bit because my expectations were exceptionally low for this film. However, I will say that the mood in this film, the cinematography, the score, and the effects were all really good. I was pretty impressed with the feeling of this movie. I think that Jared Leto is perfect for this role. I think he found a role that was right on target for him. Unfortunately, the plot was terrible, and I didn't enjoy any of the other characters, I mean, basically, if Morbius wasn't on the screen, I was kind of, anxious to get someone else. And they had the bad guy ends up being, spoiler alert, one of what's his name, Matt Smith from Doctor Who.
Yeah, I knew he was in that. Yeah,
he's in that thing, but they do not do with him what they should be doing. He is trying his best. I promise you, his acting job is excellent. He's good. But his character is, I don't know. I didn't get excited about any of the characters. There is no character arc. There's nothing in there that could be called like, a plot or a character arc. What drives me nuts is this is yet another Sony film where they can't figure out how to plot a film.
Yep.
What is with the exception of Into the Spider-Verse, which I still contend is the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. And literally Uncharted only has a plot because they're able to build it off of
the video game, right?
Off the video game.
Yeah.
Sony has a real, hire someone from Pixar, hire someone from Disney for F's sake, hire someone from Marvel, whatever. There are people that consistently have character development and great plots and have different takes on the material. Sony just can't do it. They will throw more effects at you to dazzle you so you go, oh, I really enjoyed that thing.
Hey,
I think
ultimately,
That was definitely
ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Well, that was a silly film. I liked it.
put that down as one of your fan hole reactions.
Was it?
That's a new fan hole reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say that it is not as bad as you've heard, but it's still pretty mediocre. For a Marvel film, certainly below par for a Marvel film, but probably better. Film? Yeah, everyone here's the thing. The press calls this a Marvel film, which I think is blasphemy. This is a Sony Marvel film, and it's a different entity entirely. And I will say that I won't tell you what it is, but the end credit scenes will break your neck if you don't have one of those, neck braces that, will keep you, because it makes no sense whatsoever. It's very clearly those Sony executives who have been wanting a certain thing to happen for 20 damn years. And by God, they're going to shoehorn it in there. You're going to have it. You're going to have, Aunt May episodes, Aunt May the movie, and Ben Reilly movies, and what they're going to milk the shit out of all of the Spider-Verse. You're going to have some Spider-Verse or else.
It's sad because if they would just stop lying to the audience in the trailers, it wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna bank all of your marketing on a possible connection to Spider-Man, to the Marvel movies, and then you're not gonna deliver on that, and then have a good plot on top of that, why would you go? To me, that's the frustrating thing, because we haven't seen it, but we're like, let's read the synopsis so we know if we need to go. And to me, that's the thing that Sony really struggles
Watch
with.
it when it's streaming. It has its moments. It's like if they had just look, Sony, pay your writers. Pay your writers. Find some writers.
Some writers. Pay for some writers.
Yeah.
Get some writers who know what the hell they're doing. Come on. Pay for the right. I know that you're paying the special effects people. I know you're paying your composers. I know you're paying the actors. Pay the effing writers.
Yep.
This is the reason
Don't
why.
pull someone in from the parking lot and go, hey, have you ever seen a comic book before?
Right.
How about writing Morbius? It's a comic. You're going to do great.
This is the reason why Universal is like, we're not even going to take a chance on the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And as much as we want an Incredible Hulk movie, Universal knows we have to be that's our property.
They have been very clever with the way they have inserted the Incredible Hulk into these movies. Instead of Hulk works so much better as a additional character.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to make Hulk interesting on his own. It's much better when he shows up in Thor.
And it's not like you can't make Hulk interesting. It's just that they don't want to take the risk. And if they take like they're making money, just
the Mr. Fix-It storyline would be very interesting.
That would be really good.
But you gotta go for it.
You got to set it up.
You got to do it. You got to pay your writers, folks. Pay your writers. Okay, I have one other thing that that I want to talk about. This is not a brand new series, but it's not that old. It's called Primal. It's by Gennady Tartakovsky. It's set in Genndy.
Genndy.
It's set in a fantasy, prehistoric time. It follows kind of a caveman character, via Conan, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex, who are both at the beginning of this thing dealing with a certain amount of loss in their lives, and they find each other, and then for the rest of the series they're kind of surviving together. This thing that has no dialogue has more character development and more emotional impact than most 2-hour movies do.
Word.
In the 5th episode of this series, it is a masterpiece. The other episodes are very interesting leading up to this. On the 5th episode, they have a 2-part episode. It starts out very slow. They're in this kind of idyllic location, and they're swimming and enjoying, eating fish, and they're hanging out. And then it goes absolutely bonkers. And what happens in this episode is transcendent. I mean, it's amazing what they do with this thing. And then they leave you with a cliffhanger, and I won't tell you what goes on this, but that 2-part episode is absolutely brilliant storytelling. In addition to that, the action scenes are great. The craziness that goes on, I mean, it is singular in the way that this thing is plotted. The storytelling is amazing in this thing. I have not watched. I'm up to about episode 7. I think there are 10 episodes in this first series, but I cannot recommend Primal more. It's my highest recommendation. I still have 3 episodes left on this thing, and I have this strange thing where if I really like something, I stop watching it. I don't know why that is, but it's like I know I'm going to enjoy it so much that I want to be in the perfect mood, and I want to be in the perfect place, and I want to really enjoy it. And I've started to enjoy this too much, so I'm slowing down. Yes, I'm slowing down watching it and stuff, and that's what's happening. Fortunately or unfortunately with Primal. But if you have not watched this thing, it is really, seriously, I don't use this word lightly, it is brilliant.
It's co-written by my cousin that I've never met, Don Shank.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Genndy Tartakovsky is everything that he's done has been gold.
Yeah.
I mean,
Powerpuff Girls,
Dexter's Laboratory.
Starting with Powerpuff Girls.
Dexter's Laboratory. What was the other one?
Samurai Jack.
The animated series.
The Titan. What was that?
The original Clone Wars.
Yeah.
The original Clone Wars series, and then there was a Saturday morning show, something Titan.
Yes.
Titan A.
Titan X or something. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, because it was great, and it was
also
really,
very cool.
It was they took it off because it didn't hit the demographic Cartoon Network wanted to hit.
If you don't get hit in the feels with this Primal thing, in the relationship between this caveman and this dumb Tyrannosaurus Rex, you have no heart.
You're not human.
You have no heart. Pack it up.
You know what?
Go work for your robot overlords. You have no heart.
Wow.
And it makes me mad after watching Primal. After watching Primal, it really makes me mad that they killed his Popeye project.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Popeye movie's so bad.
He was the guy to breathe life into that character for sure. Yep. So anyway, that's what I got, folks.
Awesome.
But before we get to midnight, I said we were going to go to midnight tonight. Before we started this stuff.
I think I've got 2 extra hours worth of stuff to talk about.
Wow. I guess we could get back on Star Trek again.
I'm going to go ahead and start a petition that if Paramount Plus is going to be doing all this Star Trek stuff, I'm going to rename it. I'm going to start a petition that they rename it UPN.
Bam! Immediately
Oh, and I got the name
Wow.
of that Symbionic Titan.
Oh, Symbiotic Titan. Yes, yes. Very good. All right, it's promo time. We got to do it. Kat and Chris, where can we find you?
So obviously, you can find me on Twitter at Genesis Avalon. You can also find me occasionally lurking around the Pendant Audio Facebook page. And those are the two places I am most likely to be found. I am really bad with Twitter sometimes. Sometimes I'm really great with Twitter. So at me, and you'll find out.
All right.
And you can find me at Kristen Bays on Twitter. I will say I am awful about checking Twitter. So if I don't get back to you, I'm sorry.
At me.
I'm sending you 10 tweets.
Or
As
at
soon as the show's over, you're getting 10 tweets directly to you, and I'm going to get mad if you don't reply to it.
I'll check them tonight. Or you can hear my work on pendantaudio.com.
There you go. There
I'm
that
going to
is.
go retweet all of your tweets, Dirk.
He's gonna start a Twitter feud with you.
Yeah.
And get over there. Look, go download Genesis Avalon. At least download one episode. You can do it on your browser if you just, like I said, if you can't do the commitment, just download one episode and listen to it. I promise you get hooked. You'll go like, oh, this is a really good production. This is I'm interested. I want to see what's coming up next. And you put it on your iTunes or wherever the heck it is that you get your podcast. But get over there, please.
No, I'm going to make the commitment. I'm going to do it.
Don't do it.
That's what I want to hear.
I'm going to do it.
All right. Next up is Steve. Let's get Steve going.
Put all one address up there. That'd be great. Oh, I have more than one.
You have
You've
three,
got-
Steve.
You've
You have
got three right now. I know you've got
No,
Personal
44 other
website,
projects.
918art.com. It's all my photos, art. I'm a graphic designer by trade. So logos, and/or all advertising known to man I have participated in, and it's all on that site. My Instagram is shanktify_yourself. It's basically just a bunch of smattering, wandering ridiculousness. And my other Instagram is 918avspotting, and it is all my aviation photography, as well as now I'm starting to kind of get a little smattering of my other photography in there as well.
Send that to me, and I'll add that to the
Will do.
list there, Steve.
Will do. But that's me.
All right. Let me put this comment out. Gigi says, Mr. Hooper, take a bow. This episode is This Generation Citizen Kane.
Fantastic.
I don't know if you were on earlier, but the Brian James comment got a lot of laughs there.
That means this episode was just recently voted the most popular episode in the history of motion pictures.
Wow.
All right. We'll take it.
Does it get a shanky?
That is good.
It wins all the Shankies.
I am intrigued by this whole concept of the Shanky, and I'm going to follow up on it.
Oh my gosh. He's buying the URL shanky.com right now.
What do you mean buying?
I figure
It done been bought.
Already bought.
It's already been bought.
It done already been bought. In.
with an award that says, the official Shanky Award.
Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a
be
minute.
a
We got
big-
another comment.
Never mind. Nope. Never mind.
Hey, that's Todd Radcliffe.
Right, left.
Me and him were at.
You guys know that?
I forgot to mention, me and Todd Ratliff were at WrestleCon. Steve over here went to WrestleMania. We went to WrestleCon.
That was one of the many topics I was going to cover tonight. I think that maybe if we could get Casey Jane on either like separately or during one of our upcoming shows. I'm not sure exactly what we have coming up, but you guys can talk all about
wrestling.
Absolutely. That needs to happen because this was an absolutely outstanding event.
What's up, Todd?
I'm thinking about, I don't know. We might just get you guys on and just do the wrestling thing, because I know that Casey Jane has already told me she has a ton of crap to share on that thing. So we may need
She
we
will
might
have
need the
more
extra
than
time.
any of us.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we
I want to
weren't
hear it. I want to hear it. I don't want to have to rush her along. Might as well,
Yeah.
do the whole thing.
And we weren't able to coordinate and get, to hang out. So, but
What a
still,
shame that she was down there. Anyway.
yeah.
Oh, she swept this town clean where wrestling was concerned. I understand.
I know she did. All right, Beth. It's
All
promo time.
right, so if you can find all of my books at bethanfreely.com. If you were looking for website design, putting it together, whatever, or editing of any sort, books, everything is short if you're, doctoral dissertation, or book trailers. If you need somebody to make you a book trailer, you can find my business website at themusesfunhouse.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BA Freely. I also have a Patreon if you are interested in helping a, writer, keep her marketing up. You can find me at Patreon at Beth Ann Freely. For all my other links, just go on a link tree under BA Freely. This weekend, if you are in Texas and you want to get out and check out some local authors and some indie authors, I will be at the Wimberley Book Event in Wimberley, Texas. Signing books from 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. on Saturday. Come see me.
Beth, you're getting out on these events. Good for you.
I actually booked another one for December of this year, and I put the deposit down on one in Colorado next year. Which
Colorado sounds fun.
It is it's called Committed at the Stanley Hotel.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That one, my husband actually said, I will go to that book event with you. I said, yeah, I figured
that is cool.
I'm thinking TFG road trip.
That would be a blast. So, but I put the deposit down on that one, so I am considering.
Did you get the right room?
Are they going to have a typewriter sitting out in the lobby of that?
Oh, I hope so.
Did you get the right room number?
I haven't booked the room yet.
What is it? Something 912 or something? What is it?
I thought it was.
Something like
oh, jeez.
Yeah. So come see me this weekend.
It's
Prepare. Go ask Father Google if he's got the answer for you.
That was 217. Yeah, it was 217 in the book. In the movie, it was changed to 237.
Yeah.
There's a documentary that's named that.
My dog is down the hallway looking at me like, "Are you over yet?"
Our cat are howling.
Clear air,
Seriously.
Dad.
I'm
Clear
surprised
air,
Walter
Dad.
hasn't barged in yet like she usually does. I think
Walt, you're up, man.
just the small one is.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
Okay.
Walt.
Hey,
So
it's Walt.
it's Walt.
Anybody got 30 minutes for this crawler along the bottom of the screen?
Oh, yeah.
So you can catch me. I'm open for commissions again, so you can catch me at What Walter Cons on Facebook. You can catch me at whatstudio.blogspot.com. I haven't blogged in quite some time, so if you want to go there, please feel free to go there. You can catch me playing video games every once in a while on Twitch TV, Gatchaman_1, and at this Zazzle store, this address right here. Please buy some of my stuff. I haven't made this announcement yet, but my sister is getting married, and her wedding is in August 6th, and I need money to go to her wedding in New York City.
Oh.
So please fund my trip to go see to my sister's wedding.
I will do my share, Walt, and attempt to reorder the baby onesie for the boy.
You should be able to get the baby onesie.
Yes.
So
Get 10 of them.
He needs
and that's
them.
it.
All right. There's all my deets. I'm doing art commissions right now. I actually caught up, which is amazing, and now I've got about 4. So just like that, they filled me back up again, which is good. It's good to be busy. I did a piece of artwork that I wish I could share with you, but I cannot on this this broadcast.
Family friendly channel.
But it feels like I don't know. It's like I maybe leveled up a little bit, like I beat the boss. And, leveled up. So, anyway, hopefully I will carry that on into some stuff that I can show on here. But,
Always outstanding work. I look forward to seeing it.
I'm looking for about an 8-page. You can't get sequential art unless you do sequential art. Mm-hmm. And I have sequential art, but it's 25 years old.
Right.
So what I would do right now would be very, very different from what I did back in that time. So, you know, Robert has mentioned maybe doing something for his Bad Candy deal, and I actually contacted someone else for a story who was soliciting for it, but I never heard back from that dude. So anyway, that's what I got going on.
Hey, I understand there's a title called Genesis Avalon that might be looking for a book adaptation.
Webtoon.
I'll get
Do
to
a
it
webtoon.
eventually. Yeah, there's a particular member of our pendant group who's been a fan of Avalon pretty much since it started, and I keep telling Jordan Gottlieb's probably hearing this right now at this exact moment. He knows that he's a huge reason why we even did Patriot was because he never stopped bothering me about it. So to watch books,
I was being
never
charitable.
stop bothering me about it. Just know that it'll take a while.
Kind of like you never stop bothering me about Dimitri's story.
Look, I'm just saying.
Or a rewrite of Highlander fanfic.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's that one too. Yeah, Kat knows that fanfic.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Beth is putting out some of those stories on Quora, by the way. Some of her fan fiction is showing up on the writer's writer's review.
Look at that look right there. What?
So if you're interested, go to Quora and look up the writer's review. Every time she puts one up there, I pin it to the top of the page. So at least one of them is up at the top of the page right now. And
Steve,
What?
go to my website.
Betrayal
and sign up.
ensues.
No, go to my website and sign up to get my newsletter so that every time I release a blog that also goes on Quora, you get it in your happy little email.
there you go.
Why you have not signed up for that yet,
See,
I do not know.
All I'm hearing right now is go sign up for that and leave me the hell alone about it.
See, what had happened was.
Right.
Is the
Gotta
reason
go,
why I
gotta
haven't
go.
get
Thanks to all the people who watched tonight. We got a lot of people who chimed in tonight. I appreciate it. People we've never seen before. And our regulars, we always appreciate that. I got to tell you, if we don't hear from the regulars, I worry about it. Like,
Well,
it's like
here.
are they?
where
I'm
are the
here.
where are the regulars?
I'm not
Like we
blowing
were
up
going to
the
talk
comment list
about
because I'm doing it live.
we were going to talk about Brandon Sanderson, and I was hoping that Ronnie would catch that. Ronnie wasn't on here tonight, so
Oops.
Where is Ronnie?
because Ronnie loves Brandon Sanderson. We'll talk about Sanderson later. The what he did is pretty crazy and definitely worth discussion at some point.
Hey, I'm happy to see that Todd Ratliff jumped on here. He needs to jump on here more often.
Yes, I've been, suggesting to Todd that he should check us out.
Give it the
Well, he
program,
did
Todd.
it.
But he did today.
Props to him. He did it, man.
See, you're famous, Todd. You're famous. If you're watching, you're famous now.
Yeah, we put you up on the screen. Tens and tens of people will see you.
Now, should you ever want to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Todd's your guy.
Oh, hey, we're
He's
in.
into it.
Todd's your guy.
I wonder if he's read that the new thing that they did. Did he read that?
I don't know if he's read it or not, but he
The
probably
new
knows
by
about it.
Kevin Eastman. It's like a kind of a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
It's called
Chances are he's probably already
What
got
is it called?
memorized.
the Ronin.
Ronin.
We're talking about the Ronin story.
Yes. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool stuff.
We'll just drag Cat along for that too.
Pretty
I
cool
mean-
stuff.
Pretty much drag me along for most things. Clearly I like hanging out with you guys because they keep coming back. So
Well, clearly, I also helped educate you with a lot of this geeky stuff too.
Wow, pining for
Yeah.
another award, are we, Beth? All right.
Wow.
No, just speaking the truth, man. Speaking the truth.
Thanks to our guests, Kat and Chris. You two are both welcome back anytime.
fantastic. Thank you for having us. Been
Good to
awesome.
meet you, Rogue.
Go
Yeah.
check out their stuff, folks. Thanks to Beth. Thanks to Walt. Thanks to Steve. Thanks to the Shankies
And don't forget little Darren, who is now.
and Darren.
Oh yeah, all right.
And Darren. Cut.
Okay, we've had fun with it, but I'm thinking it's time for the Shankies to die.
Also starring Darren.
Also starring Darren.
Aaron Stein.
Thanks to all of you for chiming in. That's it. Until next time, for the whole cast here, Dream hard.
That was easy.
Well timed.